Welcome everyone to another episode of what is this, Josh? What do we call this like series that we're doing here for Outpost Unknown? This wrestling series. Do we have a name?
Two dorks watch wrestling. I don't know. I got nothing. I Two people that don't normally watch wrestling watching the pay per views for you know no reason. I got nothing.
Yeah, we
I mean,
don't for those of you listening, we don't actually watch the week to week of any of the WWE stuff, but for whatever reason we've gotten to this sort of habit of watching the big pay-per-view events. And
right?
of course the last one we watched was WrestleMania 40, night 1 and
Yeah.
night 2. We actually got views on that and we actually got subscribers from those videos, which is wild and crazy. So thank you for the subscribers who are tuning in to listen to our pay per view commentary of what, Josh?
We're watching Backlash, which is like the mini pay per view between the big pay per views.
Yeah. Now I've never seen one of these. Explain a little bit, like what is the difference between the mini pay per views and the big pay per views?
I feel like the because I don't know the answer to that question. So but I feel like these are the pay per views that are like the story builders, I guess, the bigger story builders from the week to week shows. So, it's just kind of like, building stories and or, building storylines that will lead to the bigger pay per views. Um, that's kind of all I think it might be, or it might be just kind of like, to highlight some people that were not on the bigger pay per views. But
Okay.
I feel like all these guys were on the bigger pay per view, so I don't know.
Okay, makes sense. So this is actually taking place in France. We are
Lyon,
watching.
France.
Yeah, we are watching this on Peacock right now. And do you have the card? Do you have
I'm
that?
looking at it right now. I pretty much
What we got?
have the
What's on tap?
card. Tonight, while I'm looking it up, I know Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles are fighting for the world title. Which
On set.
interesting. Okay, and I might fuck this fact up, but interesting enough, I think AJ Styles has fought the winner of the last three WrestleMania um, winners after they won the title. So I think he fought Brock Lesnar, then he fought Roman Reigns, and now Cody Rhodes. So I feel like AJ Styles is like a weird transition, uh, you know, uh, like a opponent for these champions,
He's
and he
like
put
a jobber for champions,
kind
right?
of kind of a little bit, but like better than a jobber. But I mean, he's not going to
Does
win.
he win? Does he ever
No,
win? That's the thing, because like
he
jobbers always lose.
he should though because he's been champion and he was a good champion. And I don't feel like AJ Styles has really ever put on a bad match. So
Yeah, he's a high flyer. I like
yeah,
watching AJ Styles. His haircut is still stupid to me,
yeah.
but he's got a
His,
good thing.
his mom Van wrestling or his mom
Yeah.
Van haircut.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What's up
Um.
after that?
So Damian Priest and Jey Uso are fighting for his Damian Priest title. So
Oh
they'll fight
yeah,
tonight.
he
I have a
cashed in Money at the Bank at WrestleMania, right?
yeah, yeah. Which I thought was it made logical sense because he had to, but it was also really stupid. And I kind of wish that while I have no stake in this, Drew McIntyre I thought would be a better champion. Um,
I saw a YouTuber stating that the reason why Drew McIntyre didn't keep the world championship during WrestleMania is because he had not signed a new contract yet. And the scuttlebutt was they did not want to give him the championship without him having signed on the dotted line that he was going to keep doing it. So they're like, then we're giving it to Damian Priest.
that makes sense. That makes sense. But why take it off of? Well, okay, Seth Rollins was hurt, but why take? I mean, why not? Why does not have Damian Priest come in and take apart the rest of Seth Rollins and beat him? Like, why come in and beat Drew McIntyre? It just It was weird. I don't know,
Well,
but whatever.
maybe they're hoping he'll resign so they can set up that Drew McIntyre CM Punk thing.
Yeah. Bailey versus Naomi and Tiffany Stratton.
Hey, all
I think
right.
Tiffany's.
We're
Yeah,
Tiffy time fans, right? Since Elimination Chamber.
yeah. You've been a big fan of hers since Elimination Chamber, so there's that.
I don't think I've
Um,
seen her wrestle since Elimination Chamber. I just remember she was one of the standouts. She was a high flyer.
yeah. Kabuki Warriors and Bianca Belair. No, Kabuki Warriors, which you liked them, if I remember
Yep.
right.
Love Oscar.
Um, yeah, Casca. Yeah. They're fighting Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, the giant lady.
Okay.
Um, and then the match that I think I'm most looking forward to is Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are
Which is
taking
happening
on.
right now.
What's that?
It's literally happening right now. It's
They're
the
starting
first
with that
match.
match.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin
Oh,
Owens is walking. I'm in the future, like 10
oh,
seconds from you,
yeah,
but
you're right.
Kevin Owens is walking out.
I cannot believe they're starting with this match. So
This is the Bloodline one, right?
it is, and this is the only match, honestly, on the whole card I'm looking forward to. Um, it really is, though. And I told you this yesterday when you were asking, like, for, in all like full transparency, I forgot Backlash was even on today. Um, and then I looked up the card and I told you I was like, I don't even. There's nothing interesting on this card to me except for the bloodline stuff.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I'm kind of hoping they at least tease something today, because they've been doing little vignettes on Raw and SmackDown over the last several weeks, kind of teasing the return of Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six, and that I'm really interested in.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm curious if just sort of looking at this card, I think it's pretty much non-interesting. Like there's no way Cody Rhodes loses,
No,
right, in his first match after WrestleMania. He does not lose. Are they gonna Jay Uso? I don't care about Jay Uso at all. I thought his WrestleMania match with his brother was one of the worst. It was one of the most boring ones that they had there. I don't care
right.
about Damian Priest. I'm interested kind of in Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargo only because they have been damage control. They've just been like taking every belt away from them. So I wonder because I think you had mentioned Jade Cargill is kind of like a big name. Are they going to let Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill win that?
I
Uh,
think they do because I think that they're trying. So Jade Cargill is terrible on the mic, and I feel like that's why they teamed her up with Bianca Belair because she's a better talker. And I think that they're trying to build up Jade Cargill. She's kind of younger talent. She's newer, and to build her up, I think they're going to start her with a quote unquote smaller title, give her a title reign, teach her how to talk on the mic, teach her how to run a match, all those things. And so I think just to build up Jade Cargill's resume, they'll put that title on that team.
yeah, I agree. I think Asuka loses again, um, much to my dismay. And Naomi Bailey versus Tiffany Stratton. I only really care about seeing Tiffany Stratton and sort of what she can do here.
Yeah,
I know our friend Jeff is a huge Bailey fan, and
right,
they're all of these are other than the Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Solo Sokoa, and Tama Tonga. And Tama Tonga, of course, the newest member of the Bloodline.
right.
I hear rumors that they signed some other like
Mm-hmm.
can't remember the name of them, but there's a lot of predictions online that that other Bloodline member is going to show up today. Do you remember what his name is?
Um, it's like I think it's Jacob Fatu. I
Yes,
think
Jake
that's
Fatu.
yeah.
And
Um,
one of the YouTubers I was just kind of watching says like this guy has been kind of like on the indie circuit and stuff, but they said
yep,
he's like incredible. Like he is
yeah,
an incredible wrestler and just he's giant but can do
yeah,
crazy flips all over the place and
yeah.
whatnot. So
He's a big dude, but he's super athletic,
yeah,
like super mobile. So, what I think here for this match is I didn't know the Jacob Fatu thing. It'd be really rad to see him show up. I think regardless, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens lose. And again,
yes.
they're setting up this new bloodline. war. I think that the person they're kind of hinting that the person that's in Paul Heyman's ear right now is not Roman Reigns, but it's The Rock. And so they're
Yeah.
going to set this whole thing up where The Rock runs a bloodline team, Roman runs a bloodline team, and I think Jay's going to lose today because I think my prediction is Jay is going to rejoin Roman's bloodline team
Mm.
with Jimmy to take on The Rock's bloodline team.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to ask you. It feels like, that WrestleMania with The Rock and everything leading up to it with The Rock. The Rock is such a force of personality, right? I mean, it's undeniable that Dwayne Johnson is magnetic charisma. He gets people super excited.
Mm-hmm.
We were actually really kind of shocked at how much wrestling he actually did that first night, where it's like, well, he actually went all out, man.
Right,
He gave the fans a show. He didn't just, do a couple finishers here and there. He actually wrestled the whole
right.
time. And do you feel like the momentum from that has all kind of died off because Roman Reigns is gone? CM Punk's hurt. I think even Seth Rollins is gone. The Rock is gone. Everything that led up to that WrestleMania, it culminated real nice. But I'm just like, what is there really that WWE is doing now? Like, are we just waiting for The Rock to come back,
It,
essentially?
it's kind of like that always after WrestleMania, where they build this whole thing. WrestleMania happens, all these great things, and then it kind of like tapers off a little bit. And I think what we're gonna be watching now, with at least the Bloodline stuff, is that slow rebuild. They're trying to get Tama and Solo, kind of like their story kind of going. They're trying to build. They're building this new Bloodline team, and then once Roman's ready to come back to kind of, because Solo's thing was like Roman lost, right? But The Rock won. So Solo's got a new leader. You know what I mean? Like he talked
Yeah.
about that night after WrestleMania how Roman lost, and because he lost, he should be punished, right?
Yep.
So I don't need like immediate payoff. I think that the slow build into SummerSlam is gonna be, or even next year's WrestleMania, because we've seen this thing build for a year before. Um,
Yeah.
this bloodline story has been going on for like 3 years, so it could even be next year's WrestleMania where it's just giant slow build up to a bloodline war, and I think it's going to be really cool to watch.
Yeah, I could see, like, if I was kind of writing this storyline out, I definitely think they're going, hey, The Rock is going to have this kind of like evil bloodline, the heel sort of bloodline, and
Mhm.
then Roman and the Usos are going to be kind of like the baby face
Yep,
bloodline, and everyone's going to get back on their side. But again, you have to have that moment where the bad guys win, right?
yep,
So it's
yep.
like you've got to have the bad guy bloodline beat the good guys, and then maybe at WrestleMania 41, that's when it all comes to a head, and then
Right.
Roman Reigns can beat The Rock one on one or something, and get that sort of thing back. So
Because everybody's already, you can hear the crowd at some of these Raws and SmackDowns. When Solo comes out with Tama, the crowd's chanting, "We want Roman." So he's already got
yeah.
this babyface build going, and
Is that
he's
crazy?
not even there.
That's crazy because he was so. Oh, wow. Okay, this is taken off.
It hasn't started yet for me. They're
Okay.
just staring at each other.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a blood. I think it's going to be a blood war. I think they're going to kill each other. I don't think this is going to be a traditional tag team match. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be tornado tag, and they're all just going to fight the whole time.
Okay, explain to me tornado tag and what that means because I don't really know what that means.
It's basically like there's no tagging in and tagging out.
Okay.
It's you fight the whole time. So while it's a team, there's just no tagging.
Okay.
So that's
Now
it.
I have not seen Tama Tonga actually wrestle yet. Has he wrestled since he was introduced, or has he just done some sort of promo segments where he pops out and punches somebody? But
I don't think he's had a match yet. I think they've just built him. They've built him
oh, wow,
up as some sort of like killer, basically, with
this
some sort of like destroyer. So
this is wild. They got security coming out already in this match. what
this
is
is strange.
what is Kevin Owens is like
There's a
stunning all of the security guards.
Good for him. There's a match going on. Why would they break this up? Just let him go.
Okay, what is happening here?
Chaos, man. That's how you start a pay per view. Just some straight chaos. I love it. I dig it. That's what I'm saying. I think this is gonna be. Honestly, I don't know why they started it like this. I think this is gonna be the match of the night.
Okay. Yep, you're right. You're right. I forget this guy's name. This dude who's like the general manager or whatever of Street Fight. It's now Street Fight rules.
Yeah, good. Let them go. Let them just kill each other. Good. Yep.
Oh man, see, this is kind of fun because like they're going into the stands. Imagine being these
Yeah.
fans. This would be awesome. Yeah,
They sold out where they're at right now. They sold out SmackDown. They had like the highest, like the most it was like the highest selling SmackDown in history last night.
the I will say when Dwayne Johnson was doing his stuff leading up to WrestleMania, and he would always make these comments to people who were booing him. He's like, "You just enjoy the trip that The Rock is going to take you on." And he's like, "Look, this wrestling is bigger than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I showed up, and they started selling out everywhere,
Yep.
because you wouldn't want to like not go to something thinking, well, The Rock could show up, something crazy. And WWE is on fire right now.
I'm giving that credit honestly to Triple H, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Back in the '90s, early 2000s, WWE was TV 14. You know, a little bit like rated R, but not quite
Yeah.
rated R. And then Vince McMahon took it into like the PG era because um he was selling to kids and all those things, right?
Yeah.
Triple H is bringing this back into this TV 14 kind of sort of rated R era. The other night there was blood on Raw where they had Tama had just beaten the shit out of Kevin Owens and he was bleeding. You would have never seen blood. Vince McMahon ruled out you cannot bleed on TV. You can't. He took it all away.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that
Did they ever
uh,
say why, like what that reason was? Because I remember, obviously, I don't know if the Attitude Era hit the same amount of viewers and money that like the peak Hulk Hogan 80s years did. I don't know that, but
right.
I distinctly remember when I was in high school, everybody was wearing like NWO shirts,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
wrestling was a huge fucking deal back then when I was in high school, even though I didn't really watch it or anything like
Right.
that. I just knew culturally it was a huge thing. What would be the reason to sort of take that away and sort of be like, hey, this is working, this is so popular, I'm going to make it PG and less popular?
That's the thing is I don't think he made it less popular. I think he made it more popular with kids, where
Okay.
he can sell the T-shirts to kids, and he can sell the John Cena "You Can't See Me" hands to like adults weren't buying that shit.
Okay.
Maybe shirts, but like
Action
toys,
figures and stuff
action
like that,
figures,
yeah.
the
Okay.
stupid hands that they wear. All those kids want that shit, and their parents will buy it for them. And so I think he was gearing towards children. Um, but now, again, yeah, there's still those children have grown up, right? Those children are now adults
Yeah.
who probably still watch wrestling, and this era, this stuff is so much more entertaining and so much more just so much cooler for I think adults to watch
Yeah.
than John Cena doing the whole "you can't see." I don't care if I can see you or not. To be honest with you, I I want to see people just beat the shit out of people, fake or
Oh,
not. I was really hating, by the way, that split screen bullshit. It was bothering me.
it's tough, and we mentioned that in the night one WrestleMania match with Rock and Roman, where they're in different parts of the arena, and you got a
Right,
split screen because it's like, well, where do I look?
right,
Where's my perspective? Where should it be? Always tough. I think as long as you don't do it a ton, then I think it's okay because it's
right.
kind of giving you that scope of like, wow, this is all over the place. Oh boy, they are kicking off this pay per view with some wildness. Let me tell you.
Because this match is going to be a spot fest. So whoever's directing this thing, whoever's running cameras, have to know where the spots are coming. So they
Yeah.
have to know, all right, this spot's coming up on KO and Tama. Get that camera on them. All right, now a spot's coming up on
See,
Randy. You know what I mean? Like they have to.
this is interesting to me because how this match is playing out is Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are just kicking the shit out of Solo and Tomatonga, like
Yeah,
just beating the shit out of them. So, wouldn't this be a great moment for Jacob Fatu to come out and basically beat the shit out of both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens? And his introduction is like he is this essentially a monster. Like
right.
he's so fucking good that everyone is scared of him. And how the hell are we going to beat the bloodline with this guy, right? If he took out Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, that'd be a
They
cool
have
way
to
to do
be
it.
able to do it though in a way that does not make Solo and Tama look weak.
They're
If
looking pretty weak right now.
they are, but they also when Solo came out, they built him as a monster. When Tama came out, they built him as a monster. And I just don't.
Oof.
They can do all this, but they cannot make these monsters look like they're gonna be weak. And again, Tama and Solo are new. They're young talent, and they're trying to be built. KO and Randy are the vets. They need to kind of start allowing these guys to be built so that
Oh
they
my
have to be
god.
able to get they have to be able to be beatable.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just thinking of this in terms of just fun entertainment. I would
Right.
love to see Jacob Fatu come out and
I hope he
destroy
does.
Randy
I hope he
Orton,
does.
and I mean they're pulling out all the stops right now.
I
This
yeah.
crowd is thrilled.
I always mute this shit so I can't hear reactions. I can't hear commentary.
See,
Like
they're all chanting in French, so I don't know what they're saying, but the crowd is freaking out right now.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
constant screaming, chanting. It is like they
Mhm.
are
It's like
really
watching a soccer game. To be honest with you, like it's like watching them chant at a soccer game.
like every single person in this stadium is on their feet.
Yeah,
Every single one of them.
I watched highlights from SmackDown last night, so they were doing the same thing. So it just reminded me of like watching them cheer at a soccer game.
Oh, oh God, gosh, man!
Right?
It looks like these would hurt. This hurts so bad.
Anybody that listens to this, you get delayed reaction. You get Matt's reaction, and then you get mine. Oh, yep, through the table. That was a great spot. Oh shit! Ow. Who do you think that hurts more? The person
Ah,
on the table or the person
I
jumping
think
through the table?
I think it hurts the person that's taking the weight and going through the table.
Yeah.
So Paul Heyman, we should point out here that Paul Heyman is here.
Mm-hmm.
He's hanging out obviously with Solo, and from the way it's being played out, he's kind of scared of Solo and Tama, and he's kind of
Oh shit!
yeah, he's
Sorry.
just it's okay. He's just kind of going along with what they're telling him to do, but he hasn't done a
Mhm.
whole lot right now. He's just kind of very quiet in the background.
Paul Heyman is a fucking prisoner right now.
Yeah.
Without Roman there, he's just like he's a prisoner.
And he said
He's
that he has not talked to Roman since WrestleMania, right? Wasn't that one of his things on SmackDown last night? He's had no communication with Roman
yeah,
Reigns.
none. Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't know who the tribal chief is.
Paul Heyman's been kidnapped. He's being held hostage right now. That's what it is. And the day Roman shows up, he's gonna get Paul Heyman's gonna get reanimated again. He's gonna be big again. You know, he'll show some emotion. Right now, he's just like stone faced and trying to live.
Oh, look at Tamatonga's back. That should give you the answer as to what hurts more, going through the table
Oh
or if
yeah,
he land on it. I mean, he's got that long blood streak right across his back.
he's a fucking maniac though. He just punches the shit out of you.
Yeah, his punches and his kicks look really good. Like,
Yeah.
they look like they land and connect really
Hmm.
hard. Okay, I didn't quite see what happened to Randy Orton. He's not in the ring. Did he get knocked out? I must have missed it.
He got put through that table, and I think after that he rolled out. So this has to hurt. Here's the thing: those kendo sticks. I don't care who you are; they're hitting you with those. You hear it. That has to hurt.
Oh yeah. Okay, so now we've got basically Solo and Tamatonga. This is their revenge. Now they're
Hmm.
getting to use the weapons and so hold on, let me look at the card here. Oh god, ass to the face. Jeez.
That's a little Rikishi move.
Is
I, th-
Rikishi Solo's dad
I think
or
so. Yeah, I think he's
okay.
the dad of those guys.
Kind of surprised
Umaga
Rikishi
used to
wasn't
do it too. Umaga, like he reminds me a lot of Umaga, who I think was maybe his uncle, maybe. Um, Umaga used to do that. Like Rikishi used to do this weird thing where he just shove his ass in your face and kind of wiggle. Umaga used to do that whole like crush you in the corner thing. It was brutal to watch.
what I think is interesting is I like this. Oh, oh God, this is so painful. What I like about kind of like the bloodline stuff is just the fact that there are so many people in this family that are not only wrestlers, but they're like awesome wrestlers.
Hmm.
Like you don't really hear like, oh, this person's a member of this family and they just suck at their job. They're terrible. It's like, no, they're all actually really good wrestlers. It's like it's just a family business, man.
The ones that suck, they just do a really good job hiding.
Yeah.
So like, you don't get to be on TV. You're terrible.
Love the not my tribal chief sign. Where is Randy Orton at?
He might be dead. He took that.
I didn't even see him go out of the ring though.
Um,
Man, this is just every weapon imaginable. To get to your point about Triple H and sort of kind of the credit going to him for making wrestling a little edgier.
yeah,
I think you're absolutely 100% spot on with that, and I also think it's no surprise that the essentially the three main guys in charge right now are all Attitude Era guys. You got
right.
Triple H,
Yep.
with Raw, SmackDown, and all that. You got The Rock, obviously, the board, but then you also have Shawn Michaels at NXT. He
Oh,
runs
true. Yeah,
NXT,
that's very true.
and
Yeah,
so you got Shawn Michaels, sort of his perspective and teaching that kind of stuff to all the up and comers coming out of NXT with that
right.
kind of Attitude Era stuff. So, ooh,
And what's really cool too is like it's a very tight locker room, so they'll send guys from SmackDown or girls from SmackDown or Raw down to NXT to do shows just to kind of teach. Ow, that probably fucking
yeah,
hurt.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
to kind of teach and show the new guys how
clothesline.
um how to kind of run a show because they just called up a guy Carmelo Hayes. They just called him up from NXT. So he's now on I think the SmackDown roster.
Yeah, now
So
we should point out that there was a draft
yeah,
that happened a couple weeks ago. I've personally, I don't really know what happened with that draft. I don't know
I
if
have no
the
idea.
rosters really changed and all that stuff. But I do think it is really interesting that you're seeing, at least from what I gather, just kind of listening to YouTubers and stuff like that, that
Right.
NXT was something that Triple H had really built up in the past. Then Vince McMahon kind of said, fuck off, we're not going to focus on this anymore.
Hmm.
And then they brought in Shawn Michaels at a
Right.
certain point in time. And then he's built that way back up that WWE has a ton of talent coming out of NXT. Oh, God, these clotheslines, man, they are really brutal looking.
I like this Tama Tonga, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think that dude's gonna.
he's got energy.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, we got Randy Orton going up against Tom Tom. Randy Orton's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Gonna take a little break. Now he's got to do his,
Oh,
Randy moves.
jeez. Randy Orton is just cool. Like
Yeah.
he just comes across as super cool. But he also seems to be a little bit in jobber land, in which he always seems to lose these big matches. Like they put him in there because he's Randy Orton, but
I,
will he win?
I don't. Again, I don't
Oh,
think. I don't think it's Jobberland. Yes, he loses, but a lot of the things with the vets is they go out putting the young guys over,
yeah,
and that's their whole thing. Is I have to build up the next generation. That's my job. That's kind of my final act as a wrestler before I retire. I gotta put these guys over.
yeah. Man, this
So
this match, dude, is fucking going. It is 12:32, and these guys have been going balls to the wall since
yeah,
the jump.
I think this match is yeah. I think it's gonna be the longest one of the night. I think it's gonna be the best one of the day. And there's only one other thing, honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to on this pay per view, and I'm not even sure it's gonna happen. So,
Okay.
and if it happens, it won't be till the end.
What I
So
think
we'll
is
see.
what I think is kind of cool about maybe watch, and again, this is the first time I've ever watched Backlash and one of these smaller paper. Oh, classic, classic Randy Orton.
I always like I know when something's coming. He'd RKO into the table. Yeah, it's gonna be an RKO. Yep.
Out of
Sweet.
nowhere, out of nowhere. Um, that these the I mean, you've probably watched more of these sort of mini pay per views than I ever have,
I really
obviously.
haven't.
Well, I wonder then if it is these things actually might be a little bit more entertaining because your expectations are low and they can just fucking go out and kind of, with WrestleMania, all of it is so staged, right? Because they really like, okay, this is how it's going to
Right.
go. I imagine WrestleMania is micromanaged to death.
Hmm.
Um, Whereas something like this, it just feels like, at least this first match, they're just fucking out here having fun. They're like,
Right.
we're in France. Who gives a shit? We don't have millions and millions and millions of people watching this like WrestleMania where
Right.
we're anxiety ridden and we can't fuck anything up. This is just like, let's do it. So,
This is gonna if this plays out, this is gonna
oh my,
fucking hurt.
oh my
Um,
God.
Here's the
Uh-oh.
thing too.
Oh,
Backlash only has 5 matches on the card, so it gives them a lot of time to build these matches up
oh,
and be kind of cool.
oh my
He's
God.
gonna flip. Oh, if he misses, it's gonna hurt so fucking bad.
Oh, geez.
Okay, well, regardless,
Oh,
this is
geez.
gonna hurt.
Oh my God. Tama Tonga is just, holy shit. No way.
It's gonna hurt.
Oh! Oh, dear God in heaven.
Uh,
Oh my God.
you got some broken chairs. Oh, it's gonna hurt so bad if he does this. How is this gonna go? Oh! Oh! That
Brainbuster
has to
through the
hurt
chairs. Oh my God.
so bad. You can't fake that.
Oh!
Those chairs are fucking broken.
Uh-oh.
They have to go out. They all out in France because they never go there. Is that him?
I don't wanna spoil anything.
Is that him? That's not Jacob Fatu.
I don't know who this is. They just said it's Tama Tonga's brother, a new member of the bloodline, but they didn't say his name.
Who's underneath that?
It says Paul Heyman is shocked.
Who's
Oh,
underneath that ring?
fuck. Ouch.
I feel like somebody moved underneath that ring.
This crowd is stunned.
That guy's also very big. That had to hurt so bad in that chair
Oh,
thing.
I don't know who Tama Tonga's brother is. Who is that?
Something else, Tonga, I guess. Yeah, I saw that
Wow.
happening. You called it minus the actual person we were expecting.
Yeah, I thought that'd be Jacob Fatu. Maybe Jacob Fatu comes out in Jay's match to like fuck him over or something.
Yeah, I mean,
This could be where they just introduce a bunch of new bloodline members.
what I will say about Tama, and it looks like the new guy too, is they look super. They might be super like entertaining in a match, but they look like they're gonna be just what like just vanilla and boring on a mic. Solo's getting better, but look at Paul Heyman protecting. And again, that's where I feel like I think Paul's gonna go babyface kind of also.
The brother,
This had to hurt.
the other son of Haku arrived, but
Oh, Haku, okay.
who is that guy? I guess I haven't heard a name. Like who is he? Wow, that went to 12:37. That was over half an hour. That match.
Um, that is Tonga Loa. Loa.
Tonga Lual.
Tonga Loa.
Kevin Owens is like basically spitting up all over the ring.
Gross.
Look at Paul Heyman. He's like stepping away from them. He's like freaked out. Oh gosh.
He is the nephew and adopted son of Haku,
Okay. So, but not Jacob Fatu.
not Jacob Fatu. No.
Okay, they must be saving him for something
And
bigger.
and I think he's got another son. All these guys have weird fucking names. Hikuleo. I think he wrestles in New Japan. If it's the guy I'm thinking of, and that guy's giant.
What if, man, it could be wild. Like, are there other good members of the bloodline? So if the story play here is okay, we're going to introduce a new bloodline member like each pay-per-view, right? Someone
Right.
new comes out and they just build this giant stable that the Rock comes out with. I mean, you got to imagine that Roman and the Usos have to find some other family members that they could like have numbers against, right? It becomes a numbers problem at a
Right.
certain point.
I'm trying to, you know, they got so many, evil ones. Who's gonna be the good? You
I've
know,
never played one of these WWE video games before.
I haven't in a really long time.
All right, it's Tiffy time.
Hey, what are you ranking that match? What are you
Oh,
rating that match?
good, good. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Letter grade.
Oh God, man, that was a banger from the jump.
Yeah, it was
There was
good.
a lot of stuff it was exciting. It was fast. It was quick. There was not a lot of downtime.
Nope.
I'm gonna okay. I'm gonna give it an A minus. And the reason I'm gonna give it an A minus rather than an A is because I think the reveal of the new bloodline person a little underwhelming. It
Yeah.
it I didn't quite know who it was or why they were there.
Hmm.
If it had been a much grander entrance, for example, like if it had been Jacob Fatu and he had done something really awesome, then I would have probably given that an A or an A plus. But I'm gonna go A minus just because the reveal of the other Bloodline member was a little lackluster for me. But otherwise, the
Yeah.
match was awesome.
I'm gonna agree all for the same reasons, and I don't think uh, I'm saying A minus because I'm leaving room for a better match, but I don't think on this card there's gonna be a better match. But I'll leave that room anyway. But yeah, I agree. I'll go A minus as well.
Okay, so A minus for me and A minus from you. I'll make sure I write that down so we don't forget. Okay. But yeah, that was a banger. If I had been in the stands for that, it'd be like, how are they going to top this? Can you imagine being these ladies coming in after that?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Holy cow. I mean, talk about you're going to have to bring your A game, like literally A game.
Yeah, I feel like the cameraman really shit the bed on that guy's reveal. Also, like he
Yes,
came out, but not even on camera. Like they caught him later.
100%. And like his back was to the camera when it
Yeah, they
happened.
fucked that up.
Yeah. And that
Too
is one
bad.
thing that we, for anyone out there listening, that we as filmmakers notice quite a bit. I know I see that when you see, like, and I've said this before on past episodes where I love Shawn Michaels and I love when he does sweet chin music, but sometimes they will cut to the wrong angle right when the kick to the face happens, and so it obscures it. Like you don't see it as well as you could, and we see those kind of problems, whereas maybe some a common person who doesn't know a ton about filmmaking and cutting back and forth may not notice something like that, but we do because like there's a better angle. It would have
Right.
been so much
Yeah.
more impactful had you went with the other angle. Yeah, that's good. Now I am excited for Tiffany Stratton. um she bounces all over the place. She spins, she flips, and that's what I like. I like wrestlers that do a lot of high flying and cool moves and maneuvers. I'm less enthused with just hey, we're gonna punch people and we'll do some kicks and stuff like that. So who you got? Pre-game this one. I mean,
I don't.
Bailey's got to win, right? She's the champion. They're
Yeah,
not
I
gonna.
don't think they're gonna take it off of Bailey yet. They just put it on her at WrestleMania, and
Yeah,
she earned that, and she waited for her spot and her time. So I don't think they're gonna take it off of her. I do think they are gonna take a lot of time to make Tiffany Stratton look really good and give her a lot of
yes.
spots.
She's on
Um,
fire right now.
she's
Like there's a huge upswell of Tiffany Stratton people, and I actually saw there's another pay-per-view this month apparently. It's called King and Queen of the Ring or some shit like
oh yeah,
that.
King of the Ring, yeah,
And the scuttlebutt online is that Tiffany Stratton is going to win that because
interesting,
they are really trying to push her because they know what they have where fans are just like enamored with her right now.
right?
So, and this is the first I will have seen her wrestle, I think, because she didn't wrestle at WrestleMania, right?
I
She
don't think
wasn't there.
so. I can't remember.
So I'm curious to see what she can kind of do on this sort of stage because if she can handle it, she's going to be the next big champion.
Yeah,
I mean, she's got the look, she's got the skill set. I don't know what her mic skills are. I don't
she's
think
good
I've
on the
ever.
mic. Yeah,
And here
She
she
did an
comes,
interview.
Tiffy time.
Yeah, she did an interview. Yeah, that's the thing. She's got a hook, which is a big thing. You know, the Tiffy time thing. So I think they're gonna push her in this match. I think she's gonna get a lot of good spots. Uh, and since she's young, so they're gonna build her up for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, she seems to me to be like this generation's potential Charlotte Flair. That kind of,
I can see that.
blonde bombshell, super cocky and arrogant sort of wrestler.
Yeah, I can 100% get on board with the whole Charlotte Flair thing.
One interesting thing, I think her name is Samantha Irvin, the girl who does the announcements.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw this YouTuber stating that that is something that Triple H implemented because Vince McMahon refused to allow the announcers to be in the ring with the actual wrestlers because he felt that that took away from the wrestlers. And
Interesting.
Triple H has started to put her in the ring to do all these announcing because to more like a traditional, like a boxing match, right? Because
Right.
the announcers will always be in there. I can't remember the guy who's like, "Let's get ready to rumble,"
Yeah, 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 yeah.
that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think that's kind of cool because Samantha Irvin's cool. She's got a great voice and she's
He
super
does.
enthusiastic about it. So it's like, why wouldn't you put her in there? Of course, give her due.
I mean, it's really interesting because they were in the ring for a long time through the '90s, through the early 2000s. They were in the ring. So I, it'd be interesting to go back and find out or find that spot when they were taken out.
Yeah, Vince McMahon apparently did a lot of weird stuff, like weird changes. And I would be curious to see sort of like a documentary on why those changes occurred and what was in his mind. We'll never get it because he's been canceled for obvious reasons. But it would be kind of interesting to maybe a YouTuber has a video on it or something that we
You,
can.
you know what they do? They do that whole dark side of the ring thing. That
Oh
Vince
yeah,
McMahon dark side of the ring would be fucking rad.
that's going to be a whole season long.
It could be.
I mean, it's so
It
there
could
is.
be.
Hey, if you want to hear like a great in depth thing about Vince McMahon, there is a podcast called, oh God, was it Battle of the Bastards or hold on. Let me look it up real quick. It is like an 8-hour podcast. It's split over 4 parts of the entire history of Vince McMahon and every awful thing he has ever done in his life. And
Oh,
they
really?
go in depth on all of the crazy shit, like how he basically stole all of the regional promotions and stuff
Hmm.
and ran them out of business and
Yeah.
took over. Let me see if I
It
can find.
used to be, yeah, like his dad stayed in his own territory, and everybody stayed in their own territories.
Yep.
They had territories back in the '80s, and Vince McMahon, once he bought the company from his dad, started invading all those territories.
Yep. It's a podcast called Behind the Bastards, and
Okay,
it's on Spotify and Apple and stuff. They have a million different episodes, but they have a 6-part series on Vince McMahon, and it's
interesting.
it's all about the craziness that has been Vince McMahon's life. And of course it predates all of the new stuff, like all the new allegations that came out because this came out a few years ago. But he seems like a bad dude just in general
Hmm.
in his life, regardless of whether or not these particular allegations turn out to be true or not. He just seems like an asshole, or a bastard. So
I found it.
yeah,
Uh,
you might like it. I'd recommend giving it a listen. A lot of interesting stuff on there. And what's funny is like the podcast host typically does episodes on world leaders and crazy people from history that have impacted our lives and stuff like that. But like I think it's at the beginning of episode 1, he says something to the effect of like, well, this actually has to be a 6-part series because when I was researching there was so much shit on Vince McMahon that he couldn't put it all into one episode. So he had to do multiple episodes.
yeah, I mean, look at all the shit that's
Yeah.
still coming out, still coming out.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay, let's see what kind of. Yep. Tiffy time. Tiffy time's getting a lot of excitement from the crowd.
little love.
I feel like she's always in danger though of busting a breast implant.
Yeah, she goes for any type of like dive and misses. Those
Pop.
those things are gonna pop.
Yeah. Naomi's really popular too. Like all these ladies are really popular.
The thing is, the only problem I have with this match, and not really even a problem, um, is there's not a heel in this match.
I think they're gonna try to set up Tiffany Stratton as the heel because she's got that arrogant, cocky sort
But
of vibe
she's
to her.
so over.
She is. Yes.
Like, nobody can hate her.
Yeah.
So you're rooting for her. So
I
I mean,
want her to win. Yeah. She's
you
gonna
know,
lose. I mean, they're not gonna let Bailey lose her
right? I mean,
first big match after. But
nobody roots for the heel, right? So she's just super over.
well, hey, a lot of people like the bad guys. I
That's
root for
true.
Darth Vader to force choke out everyone he can. So
That's true.
all right.
This referee's been
So
around for 100 years.
bell just went off. It's 12:51. Let's keep that in mind. We can see how long this match lasts.
They can't stretch this out for too long. 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I'm gonna check out.
I don't know how long Backlash is. Like it surely it's not as long as like a WrestleMania or something,
Yeah,
right?
WrestleMania was like 4 hours. So there's only 5 matches on this card. They should be able to get through this in a couple hours.
Okay.
2.5, maybe.
Yes,
Oh, they,
already getting like the oh, and I think I read that Tiffany Stratton was a gymnast. That's why she uses all these like gymnastics moves in the
yeah,
ring.
that makes sense. I feel like any wrestler, like especially the females, they all have some sort of athletic background.
Yeah.
I've never seen a better cartwheel, by the way, in my life.
This crowd is really hyped for this show. I mean, they are
Yeah.
chanting and clapping.
They were talking about it in the pre-show. Like they never go here. So when they get here, the
Okay.
fans just go, they're starving for it.
Okay. That makes sense. I feel like that was a botch with the Naomi Bailey thing there. It looked like there wasn't actually a hit.
You know what is really interesting also is I think I think Bailey's the SmackDown Women's Champion. I want to say Rhea Ripley got hurt, so she
Yeah.
forfeited her title,
Oh yeah,
and
we forgot to
and,
mention that. Yep.
and Becky Lynch is the new Women's Champion, right? So that that belt's not being defended on this card, which I find really interesting. And and they've already started to put Becky in to a storyline. And I don't know if it just hasn't developed enough to have a match, but like she's in the storyline right now. So I don't know why they're not
Yeah,
why it
because
didn't make the card.
Liv Morgan accidentally injured Rhea Ripley, right?
Yeah,
Here we
accidentally.
go, Tiffy time, baby. Yes,
You bought in, man.
I'm in. I'm all in. Bounce around the ring. I like it.
She's gonna do a little cartwheel backflip elbow thing. God.
Oh shit! God, that looked like it was painful.
The thing I like about these triple threat matches is there's so many false finishes.
Yeah, because you can pin anybody, right?
Yeah,
Anybody.
anybody can. Yeah.
So for example, Bailey's the champion, but if Tiffany Stratton like pins Naomi,
Yep.
then Tiffany Stratton becomes a champion. She
Yep.
gets the belt. Okay, so
Yep. You do not
Bailey's
have to.
definitely winning this. Then yeah,
Yep. You do not have to pin the champion to win this match. Also, I feel like this pay per view is leaning towards SmackDown. I think it's a SmackDown Women's title that's being defended. I think it's a SmackDown uh, Women's Tag Team Championships that are being defended. Um, Damian Priest is from SmackDown,
okay.
so
Are they all still on SmackDown after the draft, or
I
did they
think
all get
so.
mixed up?
Well, Damian Priest, if you're a champion, you cannot be drafted to the other show.
Oh, okay.
So all champions are safe from the draft.
Why is that?
I mean, they don't want to see. I'm going to guess they don't want to see the SmackDown champion take the SmackDown title over to Raw. They want to keep it on the show. So,
Okay, that makes sense.
but I would love to see. I wish they did, and I'm sure they do with some of them crossovers, like the SmackDown champion going over to Raw. You know, like if a SmackDown champion went over to Raw, defended the title and lost, and now that new champion goes to, what I mean, just to kind of shake shit up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll
But
I'll be curious. You know how you said that Triple H is kind of putting this into a more TV 14 thing. When this goes over to Netflix, like Raw goes to
mhm.
Netflix, like they could do whatever they want technically on Netflix. Now, do I think you're going to get some of the Attitude Era stuff? I don't think they're going to go that far.
You
some
don't
of the
think, really?
I mean, some of the Attitude Era stuff, they were having the female wrestlers like stripped down, and that's I don't think you're going to see anything like that.
Okay, that was Vince McMahon, and
Yeah,
we saw how that played out.
yeah. So
So
you're not going to get that kind of
no,
stuff. But yeah, I definitely think you'll see more blood. I think you'll see more violence.
yeah,
Even Cody Rhodes and stuff, he's starting to cuss on his promos and things of that.
language, yeah.
So here we go, Tiffy time. Bam! Uh oh, that backfired. Oh shit! This looks a little like these girls don't quite have this ready to go here.
Energy kind of.
It's not the energy that whole sequence there with Tiffany Stratton and
Oh
Bailey. It
shit!
it didn't feel like it flowed right. It felt like they were kind of botching what they wanted to do there a little.
Oh, this whole little last thing they just did.
Yeah, it didn't look smooth.
No, it didn't.
But I think you are right. They are really showcasing Tiffany Stratton here.
Yeah,
Like you called that.
I think they have to say Naomi and not as much as Bailey, but those two are vets. They've been in this. They've both worn the title. Tiffany's new. She's young. They have to build up this new talent. And Triple H has talked about that a lot too, about how they have to build up this
Oh
NXT talent.
shit.
And I wonder if Tiffany started on NXT and was caught up.
I think she did. I think I remember reading something that Shawn Michaels. Hold on, let me look her up real quick. Tiffany Stratton wiki. Go into the Wikipedia, which is
She
all.
loved that handspring backflip move.
Oh yeah, it
She's
looks
done it
great.
like 4 times. Get that girl a watch. It's Tiffy time.
Tiffy time. Yep, NXT.
Yeah.
Let's see. She debuted on WWE's developmental brand NXT as a heel, taking on a spoiled rich girl gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Where on December 28, 2021, she would defeat Fallon Henley. Blah blah blah. Let's scroll down here. Oh, so she has been NXT the whole time. It says on February 2nd, 2024 episode of SmackDown, Stratton officially signed with the brand, becoming a member of the main roster. She only left NXT February of this year.
And she's been on at least 2 pay-per-views. So yeah, they're
Uh,
they're
she,
hiring they're
yeah, yeah,
hiring that girl. Yeah.
yep,
Again, they were the smaller pay-per-views. Like Elimination Chamber is not a huge pay-per-view.
yeah.
Backlash is not. When I was watching this shit when I was a kid, there was 4 pay-per-views, 4, and that was SummerSlam, WrestleMania, um, Survivor Series, and there was one more in there. I can't remember. So they've added all these like little mini pay-per-views
Yeah.
just to kind of
See,
something.
everyone's chanting, and they're chanting in French. I don't know what they're saying. This crowd is going nuts. This match is not as good as the first match.
No, well,
Oh,
again, If you made this triple threat match a street fight, I bet you'd be close.
Uh-oh, what is Tiff doing here? Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
Oh, Royal Rumble was the other one.
Ow!
Ooh, is it going to be the power bomb? Yeah, I like when they do this. Oh wait, no, they're not doing it. Never mind.
Wow. Bailey with the Macho Man elbow. And a bad camera angle for it.
She just kind of come in out of off screen.
Yeah. Just wasn't a very good. The cameraman didn't set it up.
They cut a little too late. They cut to that camera.
It sounds like these people are chanting "This is awesome" in French. So I don't know if that's what they are saying, but that's what it sounds like. I mean, I gotta give it to them. So far, these first two matches, like the guys and the ladies, they are going for it.
Yeah, this match is. I mean, we had worse. We had two terrible women's matches on at WrestleMania. Way worse than this.
Oh yeah,
So I think these girls are doing.
they're doing good. It's
They're
just not
doing
as
real good.
smooth. Like,
Right.
and maybe I have a different expectation because the guys, it was literally a street fight. It was just them doing whatever. This one looks a little more choreographed,
Yeah.
but not as smooth. Whereas the guys could get away with it because if they botch something, it doesn't matter. It's a street fight. It's
Right.
supposed to look, if they mess something up, then they mess something up.
Their transitions are not as fluid.
Yeah. But man, they are giving. What I say? This started at 51, so we're at. This only been 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah.
God, this feels like it's been going on a lot longer than 10 minutes.
That's not a good
No,
thing.
I know. No, but I think that it's just that there's so much action in it that it feels like your typical wrestling match. It feels like this much action would be spread out over 20 plus minutes rather than 10. Look at this. Look at this. Get her, Tiffany. Yeah. Need to get myself a Tiffy Time shirt.
Every time, sure.
Holy shit. They are really setting her up. Uh oh.
That's kind of
Oh!
a cool move.
Oh!
Ow.
She's showing a little bit of strength there.
The whole like cartwheel thing was kind of cool.
Oh
Even
yeah.
if
Oh
even if
yeah. Here comes
even
the
if
move.
Tiffany
Yeah. Oh!
even if Tiffany's playing the heel in this match, she's she's just so over.
Yeah. People are freaking out for her. Like even this moon. I don't know if you've gotten to the moonsault yet,
I
but
just
this
got it. Yeah.
crowd is like erupting. She's
I don't
great
know if
to
they have
watch. She's
they don't
just
have a
got.
lo-
Oh,
they don't
sorry.
have a
Go ahead.
lot they don't have a lot of women that are doing this shit. I don't think.
They
Like
don't. No, you're right.
so she's different. She stands out.
Yes, 100%. I mean, she stood out to us on the Elimination Chamber. We were like, "Who is that?" She looks like a star. Like,
And
who is that girl?
that goes back to your Charlotte Flair comment. Charlotte Flair used to do those backflips and all that stuff. So she's very much, like you said, kind of a new Charlotte
Oh
Flair.
man,
Charlotte was a heel when she started, all that stuff. So I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with the Charlotte Flair thing.
match is over. So it lasted. Let's see here,
15?
a
Eh.
little less, a little less.
Yeah.
Started 51, 12 to 13 minute match. So yeah, you might be right. This might only be a 2 hour show, depending on how fast the entrances go.
Right.
Um. Okay. So let me write this down here. This one was the Bailey V Tiffy v Naomi. All right. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and give this match. My initial thing is B minus.
Yeah.
I think this would have been very very average. Obviously, the outcome was already known. We knew
Right.
Bailey was going to win. They're not going to take the title off her or anything. But you were 100% correct. This was just a showcase of Tiffany Stratton. This was telling the WWE world, check out some of the stuff that this girl can do, and we are going to focus her heavily going forward, which I'm a fan of. Give me more Tiffy time.
Yeah.
But other than Tiffany Stratton, I don't think Naomi did anything that great. I don't think Bailey did anything that great. I think you were right. Their job was just showcase her, put her
Hmm.
over even more. And this was all about the flips, the moonsaults, the crazy gymnastics, the stuff. So I'll bump it up because of that. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it would have been a maybe a C, but B minus for me.
Yeah. Again, I can't argue. I agree 100% across the board. B minus for Tiffany. A B
Yeah.
minus for Tiffany. I'm gonna give Naomi and Bailey a C. Uh,
Yes. Yeah, it was just very average, but they did do a lot in a short amount of time.
they did.
So I will give them that. They put in a good. You could tell that they were watching that first that first match, and they were probably like, "We got to bring it. We got to bring it." There were a few
Yeah.
flaws there. You could tell it wasn't quite as smooth as maybe they wanted. One thing that I hate, and this is the acting part of wrestling that really drives me crazy, and it's not necessarily the wrestler's fault. It's just the way in which the movements occur and the timing of it. Sometimes that how do I want to phrase this? It's like somebody misses their move, and then there's that weird 2 or 3 second delay where they're waiting for the other wrestler to then grab them and do something. Whereas it's almost like I notice, okay, this was planned and it wasn't as fluid as needed, and she's just kind of waiting there for Bailey to come grab her. Whereas a normal reaction would be you miss and you immediately go to turn around, and you're not like waiting that second or two. Oh,
Right.
oh,
It's like they stop selling in that transition. Like the acting kind of stops for a second.
yes, yes, and that drives me crazy. I saw a lot of that.
Oh,
We got a little bloodline backstage stuff here. Bloodline
yep.
walked by Jay, gave him the stink eye. Paul Heyman's like, I don't know what the fuck, man. Something bad's happening. So yeah, I saw a little of that in that match. But I like the ladies. I'm glad that the female wrestling sort of part of the WWE is getting its due, because
Right.
I've watched a lot of that stuff in the Attitude Era back then. There were some good female wrestlers, but they weren't shown in the best light.
Right.
Vince McMahon was more about, hey, can we get you in Playboy?
Hmm.
More than he was, hey, let's showcase your actual skill set. So yeah,
Kind of buried him a little bit. Since we're at a commercial, I'm going to take a break for 1 second. I'll be right back.
okay. While he's gone, I'm going to talk briefly about a commercial that just popped up, trailer for a movie, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm excited for this movie. I think this looks really cool. Already got my tickets. Already got my tickets, so I'm excited to see where that goes. But yeah, I think that I'm a fan of all the Planet of the Apes movies that I've seen, the more recent ones, obviously. I don't think I've seen every single one. I feel like I missed the last one with Caesar. But this one I assume takes place far into the future. And I'm looking forward to this kind of reboot reset of that. I'm looking here at Tiffany Stratton's Wikipedia page. So, okay. WWE NXT Women's Championship, NXT Women's Championship Tournament, NXT Year End Award, Female Superstar of the Year, and the Slammy Award, the NXT Superstar of the Year. So Tiffany Stratton is pretty much on fire right now. Oh, there it is. She cites Charlotte Flair as the one who inspired her to become a professional wrestler. There you go. Anybody out there listening, if you enjoy Josh and I's wrestling content, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think of these real time commentary episodes. They're
Hey,
fun. We enjoy them.
heard heard you talking about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes when I was running upstairs real quick, and
Yeah,
that movie opens next week.
yeah. I
So,
got I got my tickets already. Alyssa
oh,
and I
did you?
are excited to go see that. Yeah, and so I'm like, I think it looks really. I like those other apes movies. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of them. So
my son Mason really likes them, so I think we're going to go the following Tuesday.
cool, cool. I was looking up Tiffany Stratton's Wikipedia here while you were on break. She cites Charlotte Flair as the one wrestler who inspired her to become a professional wrestler. So
Yeah.
there you go. She's actually apparently in a relationship with Ludwig Kaiser, a
Oh, yeah, I saw
wrestler.
that. Yeah.
So, and then she was an NXT Women's Champion. She was the NXT Women's. She won the NXT Women's Championship tournament. She won the NXT Year End Award of Female Superstar of the Year in 2023, and she just won the Slammy Award for the NXT Superstar of the Year in 2024. So she's on fire right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
WWE knows it, and they are showcasing her accordingly. All right, so it looks like we got here. We got Jay Uso getting the crowd to bounce up and down, yeeting.
Yeeting.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
really into
really
that whole yeet thing. I
okay.
might, I might just be too old for it though.
Yep. Uso versus Damian Priest. Now I don't know a whole bunch about Damian Priest. I know he's part of Judgment Day. Obviously, we watched him cash in Money at the Bank to beat Drew McIntyre to get this title. I'm not. I guess I don't know enough about Damian Priest to give a shit about him at all.
Yeah, I agree.
He's tall. I know that. He's like a
Oh,
giant man. He's like a gigantic man. But I don't like. I really don't care for the Judgment Day or any of that stuff. I hope Rhea Ripley gets away from that stable.
I feel like this Yeet main event Jay Uso thing is super forced. I think it's really forced just to like give him something in the singles competition. I, and that's why I feel like after he does this little lame main event Jay Uso thing, he's gonna rejoin the Roman Reigns bloodline. I just think this is so lame that they're what they're doing with him. It's
Yeah,
just not. It's not. They might like little kids might think this is cool, and that's why I go back to that like selling it to children kind of thing because they need these like characters,
yeah,
but he's just not as entertaining to me as he was when he was doing the tag team with his brother
yeah.
bloodline thing.
And I'm looking at the crowd. The crowd is obviously eating this up, and they're all
Right.
participating, and it's fun and it's cool. So perhaps people dig this stuff. It's not for me.
Mm-mm.
I think it's kind of cringe.
Yeah.
Um, but I agree with you. This kind of like main event Jay Uso. I mean, I can't really see him being a champion. Like
Mm-mm.
he just doesn't feel like one to me. But neither does Damian Priest. So, do you think Damian
True.
Priest loses this? When that?
No, there's no way.
No way.
No way.
You don't think they're going to throw a curveball at all, or maybe I guess the Bianca Belair or Jade Cargo will win. That'll be the one champion this pay per view that loses.
Yeah, that's. I think that's where
Warrior.
the downfall of these pay per views kind of live is that they don't throw curveballs and they all are just very predictable. and even the most mild of WWE watchers can call all this shit.
Yeah,
So
and you got to rely on putting on a really good show to
yeah,
overcome
for
that.
sure.
Okay, here comes
And
Damien.
yeah, Yeet puts on a good show. You just watched it. That was his good show.
His, I saw an interview with him about the lackluster reaction that people had to him, wrestling his brother in WrestleMania 40, and he acknowledged it. He was like, "Yeah, the sort of emotional moments didn't come through, and it was just like the whole match was just super kicks. That's all the match was." And
Yeah,
I know like that was his main thing when he was in the bloodline. Him and I always forget his brother's name, Jay, and who's the other one?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. That was their whole thing, right? They would just super kick everyone to death. But when I watch a wrestling match, I want variety. I want to be able to see the entire skill set of the performer. I don't want to see like the same one or two moves over and over and over and over
Right.
and over again. And that's what I feel like I get from both Jay and Jimmy Uso. It's like just the same shit over and over. There's 1,000 wrestling moves. Pull one out that people aren't expecting.
Yeah,
Don't do the
yeah.
same shit over and over.
But I think as a tag team, they are fun to watch.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
And,
I think they're much better as a tag team than they are as individuals.
and I
And
haven't even seen Jimmy wrestle a singles match minus WrestleMania. I haven't really seen him wrestle a singles match. He's been well, now he's gone because Solo beat the shit out of him, but
yeah, that's another
he's
thing.
off
Does he
TV now.
show up? Does he show up tonight?
Or I don't know. Like I think they're just gonna let the villain side of the bloodline run for a while. And and see how that goes. So I think they're gonna build up the villains before they it's gonna be that whole MCU thing again that we just watched at WrestleMania. They're gonna build up the villains
Yeah.
until the heroes show up. So Damian Priest, by the way, is such a transition champion. He, I guarantee you that championship is gone by SummerSlam.
He would have never had it had CM Punk got hurt.
I think that's it. I think you're right.
Never. It's like, who is Damian Priest? Who cares about Damian Priest? I
He
mean, I'm sure
doesn't.
he's got some fans, but
He doesn't. He's not great on the mic. He's a big guy, so he's fine in the ring. He's got some power moves, but yeah, once Punk is good to go, that title is going on Punk.
oh yeah, yeah. That was one of the main reasons he came back to the WWE is because he's never been able to like headline a WrestleMania. He's never been able to really do what he wants to do, and it's absolutely going to him. I think what happens is Drew McIntyre will end up beating Damian Priest at some upcoming big, pay per view. I don't know what's the next big one. Is it
SummerSlam
SummerSlam?
is next. Yeah,
I think Damian or Priest loses it to Drew McIntyre, and then CM Punk will beat Drew McIntyre to get that title.
yeah.
That's what I think's going to happen.
It, something in that. Yeah, something in that realm is definitely gonna. Because those are the three guys that they're highlighting really for this title. So
Yeah, well,
Punk is just hurt.
that whole thing at WrestleMania, um, it's Punk against Drew McIntyre. You have to pay that off, and you have to pay that off with one of them having the title and taking it from the other. But Drew McIntyre's got to get it back. I think he gets it back at that Scotland show. Honestly, they're doing some pay-per-view thing in Scotland
Okay,
like a month or two. I bet he gets it back there. He becomes the champion in his home country, right? That's the big
right.
pop. He gets to become champion in front of people, his home country fans, and then SummerSlam, something CM Punk will be healed by then, and he takes it back at that point, either at SummerSlam or like at next year's WrestleMania or something.
Right.
Depends
Yeah.
on how long they want to let Drew McIntyre keep it.
They owe Drew McIntyre a good run. They do because he was the COVID champion, really. Where
Yeah.
he was a champion in empty stadiums.
Yep.
So
Let me see when all these pay-per-views are.
I'm already bored of this match, by the way. I
I,
really
I
am.
I really don't like Jey Uso.
I'm just not interested.
I don't like Jey Uso, and I don't know enough about Damian Priest to care.
Yeah.
Honestly, bring back Tiffany. I
Bring
want
back
I want some
Tiffany.
Tiffy time in this to spice up this match. Okay, let's see. 2024 WWE pay-per-view schedule. Let's see here. There's a lot of NXT pay-per-views too. Wow. I'm not going to watch those, but there are a
No.
ton of them. Holy
No.
shit. NXT Spring Breakin', NXT Stand and Deliver, NXT Roadblock, NXT Vengeance Day. there's there's so many. Holy crap. All right, so the next one up after Backlash, May 25th, which is King and Queen of the Ring.
Hmm.
That's in Saudi Arabia. So
Yeah, that makes
they
sense.
might actually do something big there because the Saudis, it's all their money, and so they might want to put
Right.
on some sort of show for them. You might see something good there. Then you got NXT Battleground. So WWE Clash at the Castle in Scotland. That is
Okay.
June 15th, and it's literally called Clash at the Castle in
That
Scotland.
makes sense.
He's gonna win that. He's gonna win the title there. I'm calling it now. He's winning, and then
Yeah.
you get Money in the Bank in July.
God, where the fuck is SummerSlam? Is it August?
SummerSlam Cleveland, August 3rd.
Oh wow,
Yep.
that seems late.
It's far, far into the future here. And then Bash in Berlin is August 31st.
I've never even heard of that.
And then you get Survivor Series in November.
That's a lot of pay-per-views, man. That's a lot. They're kind of like it's a little overkill on the pay-per-views.
That's a lot. Well, if you include all the NXT ones, you've got, here, let me count how many you have this year. You had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, 23 pay-per-views. That's
Yeah, they,
roughly two a month.
yeah, it's roughly two a month.
Now, a lot of these aren't NXT ones, to be fair, but still, that is a lot of fucking pay-per-views.
It's overkill. But if they sell all those pay-per-views out, I get it. I
Oh,
do.
yeah. I mean,
But
it seems like that's what they're doing.
they gotta build better cards than what they got going right now. The King of the Ring is a tournament. So I wonder if they do like the full tournament at King of the Ring. If it's just like full tournament style, like they kind of used to do a full tournament style for the King of the Ring, where two people fight a match, and then it's like brackets, right? So the winner goes on to the next bracket, and then they wrestle again,
Oh,
and then and they go all the way till they get to the actual like King of the Ring match. So I wonder if they're gonna do that.
that'd be kind of cool to watch. I've never seen anything like that, so hopefully they do something like that. That'd be kind of fun to watch. So Damian
So
Priest did the thing I just said I didn't like before, where he gets kicked in the face and he just bends over and he waits a few seconds for the next like punch to come.
right,
I hate it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin was actually built at King of the Ring. That's where he got over for the first time was the King of the Ring.
Oh,
Like
okay.
1996 or 7, he beat Jake the Snake Roberts, and that's where that's the first time you heard, and that's the bottom line. Because in Austin 316, that all came from King of the Ring.
Yeah, the Austin 316 said I just whooped your ass or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
It's so interesting to me that Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I know that we had talked about during WrestleMania, like where was Stone Cold? Like that was the obvious place to have Stone Cold Steve Austin instead of the Undertaker. And from what I've read, they said they could not come to some sort of financial agreement with Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is why the Undertaker stepped in. And I watched the Undertaker. He's got a YouTube show. I think it's
Hmm.
called 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway, and he talked about that moment and that the entire week leading up to it, like somebody came to him and was like, hey, we're thinking of it, we're doing some plans, would you be interested? And who is that? Somebody just popped in and interfered, but I couldn't tell because the cameraman was doing a horrible job. Who is that?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I don't know who that guy is. I figured it
Oh,
would be
it's
Dominic, but I don't know who it is.
no, it's another one of the dorky members of
Okay.
their uh their faction that I can't remember the name of.
Ooh, okay. So here you go. Damian Priest is pissed off because he's like, "I'm the champion. I don't need your help, buddy." I told you. I think during WrestleMania, Judgment Day is going to fracture apart. I
I
think
agree.
this is. I think this is all part of it.
You know, Rhea's gone, so Dominic, like Rhea and Dominic, that was kind of a thing. And now she's gone, so I don't know what they're doing with Dominic right now. JD McDougal or whatever, he's running around with um oh, I can't think of his name. Uh the leader of Judgment Day.
That's a problem. If we can't even remember the names of the people in Judgment Day, no one gives a shit about them.
Yeah, I don't care at all.
What was I saying right before this? I forgot. I had a point I was going to, and then I was like, "Who was that person who interfered?" I lost it. I don't know what my train of thought was.
No, you're talking about Mark Calloway and his 6 feet under
Oh
and how he
yes,
got
yes.
involved, yeah.
Thank you. And he was saying like, so week before, I don't know if it was Triple H, somebody said, hey, we're making various plans, would it be something you'd be interested in? And the Undertaker basically was like, I'm not part of this whole thing. I would only do something like this if the guys are okay with it.
Right.
He felt kind of weird. He's like, I'm not part of this whole, this whole storyline or anything. So it seemed a little odd to him as well. And then he was like, days go by, he hears nothing, and then he got a call from Paul Heyman like on that Friday saying, "Hey, we might be going this direction." And he was like, "Well, like okay, let me know." And he didn't even find out really till the day of that he was going to be out there. And it seems, based on other reporting from various people, and whether they're right or wrong, I don't know, but WWE was trying to get Stone Cold Steve Austin all the way up to the night of, essentially, of the match to see like, will you do it? And I think Dave Meltzer said they couldn't come to a financial agreement, which to me seems absurd
Yeah.
because you're the WWE, you have all the fucking money in the world. You know what would have happened. I mean, everyone still loves Undertaker. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves.
Right.
It was a cool moment when the lights turned out and stuff. That was still cool. But can you imagine what the fuck would have happened in that stadium had Stone Cold Steve Austin come out and given The Rock a stunner?
Right.
It would have been. It would have been one of those moments that lives on forever with wrestling
Hmm.
fans. Forever.
In
There had to be a
fairness,
different
though,
reason. There had to be a different reason for it.
in fairness, WWE's got all the money in the world. Totally get it. But Steve Austin, A, doesn't need the money, and B, you know, had an opportunity to be a part of something really big. It wasn't going to be wasted on him, and he could have done it for no money and just like to give back to WWE.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, like, what could the real reason have been? That, like, because Stone Cold, he came back a few years ago and did stuff with Kevin Owens. He had
He
a
did,
whole
yeah.
fucking match with him, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it seems weird to me that Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, okay, this will be one of the most iconic moments in WrestleMania history. Not just wrestling, like WrestleMania history. This will be on every highlight reel that they show, before every WrestleMania from now until the end of time, right? You coming out and doing this because The Rock was on fire, everybody was on fire, everyone wanted it. Every single person in the universe wanted to see Stone Cold come out and give a
Yep.
stinger to The Rock, and he chose not to, and it could not have been for money reasons. Could not have been. It had to have been for something else, which means, and I don't know. Again, I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I've seen stuff that said Stone Cold Steve Austin is still very tight with Vince McMahon. Maybe he felt it was kind of betraying Vince McMahon, or he has some sort of loyalty to him. I don't.
Yeah.
But even, I mean, Stone Cold does a whole podcast on the WWE Network,
Yep.
so it's like, what? What? There had to have been another reason. There
If I was Stone Cold, I would have done it for the pop alone.
Oh yeah,
He hasn't gotten that kind of pop in years.
yeah,
I would have done it for that alone.
yeah. And I'm sure the Undertaker didn't say, "Give me $10 million and I'll do it." The Undertaker's
Right.
like, "Sure, man, I'll be there." I mean, I'm sure they gave him something, but I don't think that the Undertaker was like, "Well, I'll give me X amount of money and I'll do this one thing."
I'll do one choke slam and leave.
So it wasn't a money issue. It was. There's
Yeah.
got to have been something else. And it's too bad. I would have liked to have seen that for Stone Cold Steve Austin to have that big iconic moment. But
He
good for
also
the Undertaker for doing it. Good for him being a team player.
he also films a show. Steve Austin does not as, beyond his podcast. He films like a TV show. So
Oh, I don't know.
scheduling wise, it could have been an issue. Also, he travels like all the time. I
He
can't
could
remember
have.
the name of the dumbass show, but he
He
does.
he could have done it. Because these negotiations don't start a week before WrestleMania. You know that they probably were talking about him weeks before. And if they were still trying to get him and still trying to convince him all the way up until the night 2 of WrestleMania, it tells me he wasn't completely against it,
Yeah,
but it couldn't have been a simple thing like, we're not going to give you the $10 million you want. Who fucking
right.
cares? You're going to make that money at the gate. Just pay him what he wants at that time. But I don't know. Maybe him and The Rock don't have a good relationship. I mean, who knows? All these guys have giant egos, and it's
Yeah,
always hard to tell. But good for the Undertaker. And the Undertaker said on his podcast, he's like, it gave him closure because his final WrestleMania match was during COVID,
hmm,
and it was one of those things where they just kind of filmed it like a movie in the
yep,
graveyard or whatever.
yep.
And he said that he was always kind of like unfulfilled because he didn't get to have his final moment in front of an audience. And
And
this
it was
allowed
against
him to.
it was against AJ Styles.
Yeah, and this allowed him to have that moment that he missed. So good for him. I'm glad
Right.
he got to have that moment.
Yeah. Um. Oh, I had something I was gonna.
This match sucks.
Yeah, this match is really boring.
This sucks.
I don't really care. It's all I don't know. It's pretty flat.
It's just like, again, it's frog splashes and super kicks. It's just the same shit over and
Yeah.
over and over again from Jay Uso. I don't care. Him
And
turning into a
the two bloodline members are out, or not bloodline.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day members are out there trying to help, and it's it makes Damian Priest also again. He looks. This is I think one of his first title defense. It makes him look super weak. Like
Oh
he
yeah.
can't defend the title by himself.
Well, I think that's why he was yelling at the guy the first time when he interfered the first time, because he was like, "Hey, I'm the champion. I don't need your help. I can do this myself." So they're trying to write that in, or at least address it. But man, when did this one start?
I didn't even pay attention.
I think it started because the girls got over at 13
20,
after.
maybe
Yeah,
120.
it's been about 15 minutes. Yeah.
They need to end this shit here in the next like minute or two though, because I am officially
Well,
over
good.
the.
It's over. It's over. You
Is it okay?
predicted it. It's over on a really shitty ending too.
Yeah. Oh, like a dumb choke slam coming. Yeah, I don't care about that.
Good
I don't
job.
care about that
Good
move.
job, main event Jey Uso.
Way to kill that guy's momentum, also, right?
Yep. Yep. Okay. Jeez. All right. Jey Uso versus Damian Priest. I'll let you rate this one first.
What if Jey Uso realizes in these matches that he cannot do this alone, and he joins the villain bloodline?
That'd be awesome.
Like they convince him that he
Oh,
needs his family.
we got some fighting amongst the Judgment Day members here.
I'm gonna go C minus on this match. By the way,
C minus.
yeah.
I'm gonna go lower than that.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go D minus.
Okay.
I didn't think there was a single interesting thing that I was watching. Uh, I don't actually know why I wouldn't give this one an F. Maybe, I mean, out of appreciation that the guys can wrestle, I'll go D
Yeah.
minus.
I
But
mean, I
yikes,
think it's F level, but
I I don't
yeah,
like. Yeah, I didn't like this at all. This is boring. Boring. You got your typical interference from
yeah.
your stable. I felt like there was no real creativity in this, no imagination. Two wrestlers I don't give a shit about.
I mean, you
Um,
might be right on the D minus.
this was rough. This is rough.
I might have to agree with you.
I got to be fair. Like this, like to me, a C minus is just below average. To me,
Yeah,
this was bad. To me, this was just bad. I was like, there was nothing.
yeah, you're right. It was pretty boring.
So you're going D minus two, or are you changing?
Yeah,
Or
I'm just gonna agree because I was I barely watched the match if I'm being honest with you. I was on my phone a little bit, um, but it's because I checked out like 5 minutes into this match. I pretty much checked out.
that's part of the problem, right? Because
Yeah,
if you want to get on your phone and start looking at your phone, then we're in a world of hurt in terms of
yeah.
whether or not you're putting on a good match or not.
Oh, I was trying to find something that I was talking about earlier. That's why I was on my phone. It wasn't just like at random, but
Back,
the match was pretty flat.
Backlash is going downhill. So it started out great. It the girls were good, but it was the Tiffy Time show, which I'm fine with, but it wasn't that great of a match overall. And this one was real bad. So now we got Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill versus the Kabuki Warriors. I
Yeah,
expect this to be a good match because the Kabuki Warriors, they're high flyers. Asuka, they're entertaining to watch. They do all kinds of cool stuff. Bianca Belair, obviously, she's I don't know if she is a champion or former champion. And of course, you got Jade Cargill, who will lift somebody up and throw them over the ropes, which is always fun.
right.
I expect this to be better than what we just got.
It'll definitely be better than this match. I don't think it'll be as good as the triple threat match.
Okay. Oh, we got
Um,
Felipe Charot.
so um,
Speaking French, I don't know what Felipe is saying here.
I
But
don't think I think I called it at the beginning of this pay per view. They started with the wrong match.
yes,
They should have
100%.
started with that Damian Priest bullshit and worked the card up.
Well, I guess for to play devil's advocate, if I'm sort of looking like, okay, here are our matches. What order are we going to put these in? You have to put Cody Rhodes last. You're right. He's the undisputed WWE champion. You must put that last. Do you want to jump? You want to go in with a banger though, because you know that the Randy Orton match is going to be good. It's going to like jump you right out of the gate. I would have actually put the Jey Uso Damian Priest after that. And then I would have went to Naomi, Bailey, Tiffany Stratton, then the Kabuki Warriors match after. I would have put the two ladies right after each other, because then you just smash that shitty Jey Uso one in between two good matches, it
Yeah.
doesn't feel as bad right now because you're like high, low, then you're back up to high, and you're back into the program.
You would have ended on the. You would have ended with the Bloodline, Randy Orton, and and then ended with Cody and AJ.
Here would be my order if I was doing this. I would have done the Randy Orton bloodline right out the gate, like what we got. So I would have put that one. Then I would have done the Jey Uso Damian Priest one too, because that sucked. And it won't suck as bad with everyone coming off of the high of the first one.
Right.
They're not going to be paying that much attention. They're still going to be talking about how great that first match was. Then, once everyone's got a time to breathe and they get done with their 15-minute breather match, then you go back to the Tiffany Stratton stuff. Everyone's back up again, and then boom, you roll right into the Kabuki Warriors, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and then you do the Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, only because you have to, because he's the undisputed WWE champion.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have if that wasn't something you have to do, I would have put Cody Rhodes first. Just get because he'll get the crowd pumped up, and they'll put on a good match, Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, and then leave the Bloodline stuff to the end.
Right.
That's what I would have done. NXT Battleground Las Vegas, June 9th. All right, here we go. Kabuki Warriors coming out. You're about to lose your title, ladies, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they're gonna hand it over. I think it's again they spent time building up young talent this pay per view.
Yes.
Solo and Tama they built up. Tiffany they built up. I think they got to build up Jade Cargill. I just think in these matches with the young talent, they got to give the younger talent that time to shine.
See, the Kabuki Warriors, they just look cool. Like when they come out. Like their whole shtick looks cool. Their costumes look cool. The hair looks cool. The makeup. They look like they're actual characters. And I like that. But it seems like every time I watch Asuka wrestle, she loses.
She
So
loses, right? Yeah. I don't know a lot about this tag team, so like whenever they come out, yeah, they look really cool. I will give you that. But I've never been super I was impressed with Oscar by herself. Um in some of her championship matches by herself. I've just never been really into I don't know a lot about enough about this tag team to care.
yeah, I feel like Asuka is just sort of she's just too big of a name to just be a tag team person. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that I don't even know what the name of this other girl is off the top of my head. I can't remember.
Okay.
Is it? It's not Dakota Sky, is it? I don't remember.
Maybe. I'm not gonna guess, but that sounds right.
Um, yeah, that's just the thing. It just seems like Asuka's bigger than this, and maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like whenever a big tag team sort of pops, eventually like one of the people in that tag team is clearly bigger than the other, and they go solo. And that's kind of like you're on your own now. You're in the big time. You don't need to sort of have the crutch of a second wrestler there to sort of help you out.
Carrie Sane is the other girl.
Okay, Carrie Saint.
Yeah, I would 100% keep get Oscar back into that title hunt. I would take the titles off this team and put her back into a women's title hunt, especially with Becky Lynch being the champion right now, and Liv Morgan chasing that, and I can't remember that other girl's name. That she's also part of the bloodline. I just can't remember her goddamn name.
Oh, Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. She's in the hunt. I think putting Oscar in the hunt would be great. Tiffany Stratton in the hunt. Like all those girls. I Becky Lynch is a she's holding on to the title because of her name right now, and that's what they're selling that title on. And once Rhea comes back, she's gonna take that title back.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And for those who don't know, Rhea Ripley obviously got hurt, and they had some sort of match to see like which women was going to take the title while she vacated it, I guess. And I always think that's interesting that they kind of force a wrestler to vacate their title because they're
Mm-hmm.
injured, but they didn't do that with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was injured for months before
Mm-hmm.
going into WrestleMania. They didn't make him vacate his title. So it's just kind of weird to me unless Rhea Ripley is just going to be out so long, like the injury
Right.
is so bad that they're like we have to do this. Interesting thing I want to mention here about Jade Cargill. Again, I think you were right on the money about them spotlighting new talent because Bianca Belair is clearly the more decorated wrestler of these 2.
100%. Yeah,
She
yeah.
came out first, and they're letting Jade Cargill come out the last one of all of them. So again, I think to spotlight the new talent.
She's got a cool entrance, and she looks smaller. Actually, she somehow looks smaller than I remember her being at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Well, we'll see when she gets stands next to one of these ladies.
Not height wise, not height wise, just
Oh,
like
you're talking about strength wise, like muscle.
yeah, like she. I mean, don't get me wrong, she could beat my ass, or she's jacked, but like her arms just look. She just looks less muscular to me than she did at Royal Rumble, and by less by less muscular, she's still like I
Yeah,
said, jacked.
like she's lost some tone or
Yeah,
something to it.
something. Yeah.
Maybe again, I don't know when it comes to wrestling sort of stuff like that, but it could be you're so big in order to move better in the ring
Hmm.
and do pull off something, you got to like tone
Yeah.
down a bit.
Yeah.
Don't be so overly. I don't mean to imply she's doing steroids, but just as a general, like
No.
roided out, like giant sort of muscle sort of person.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see what these ladies do. I want a good match here, ladies. Don't disappoint. All right.
Jade Cargill's, you're not going to get high flying from that team. You might get high flying from the Kabuki Warriors,
Yeah.
but there's no high flying that's going to happen between Naomi or what's her name? Not Naomi.
Bianca Belair,
Bianca and Jade
Jade Cargill.
Cargill. Yeah.
Ooh, is that a bruise on Bianca's like right by her armpit shoulder area? It's like super dark.
I mean, just look at how much bigger that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are. Oh yeah, that's like
Yeah.
a. It looks like that. Remember when Cody tore his pec?
Yeah,
It looks
yeah.
like that.
That looks rough. Ouch. Again, every one of these ladies is stronger than I could ever be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I appreciate all that they do with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's like it looks like a tear.
Yeah. It looks like she's literally injured, but still going out there and fighting the good fight.
So maybe there's a possibility they won't win because of if she's hurt, like she's obligated, like she's like fulfilling her obligation to wrestle. Because I mean, Cody wrestled with that torn pec,
Yeah,
and then went away. But
yeah, I mean
I
it
don't
look it
know,
looks like it hurts. She's not acting like it hurts, but
not at
definitely
all.
looks like it hurts.
But again, this is where if she's hurt, Jade Cargill is going to come in here and shine.
Yep, here comes Jade Cargill. She's gigantic.
Yeah, she's a big
Harry
girl.
Sane's gonna get completely destroyed. I always wondered, like when they put all that makeup on and like around her eyes, she's got so much glitter like around her eyes as part of her stuff. When you sweat and stuff, God, wouldn't you imagine like glitter could get in your eye? And
right?
that seems like it would not be fun if you're wrestling and that kind of stuff. Look how small she is compared to Jade Cargill.
Right.
Holy cow! Oh, that was a good move. That is a cool move. I like that move that she does there. I have no idea what it's called, but
How
I
do you
like
even sell that this girl could even go with Jade Cargill? Like, how do you even pretend that that could happen?
it.
She's gonna
Ooh,
break that girl in half.
kind of interesting into this match here. There's Bianca doing some gymnastics.
Jay's wearing that giant like chain around her neck. Also, oh, that's not a chain. That's holding her top on. Never mind. It kind of like a chain. I was like, how is she not gonna get? That's gonna get like she's gonna get hurt with that thing. Just to not feel like I am Vince McMahoning over here, she does need to keep the chain on so we don't have an accident.
The screen would go black immediately.
Right. There's a delay, so I'm sure, yeah, it would go black.
Every match, a wrestler grabs Bianca Belair's hair,
Oh
yanks
yeah.
on that ponytail.
I keep saying I think every match I've seen her wrestle since we've been doing this, how does somebody to not just tie that around a ring rope and beat the shit out of her?
Yeah,
Just tie her to something.
Oscar. I love that. One of the reasons I like Oscar so much is she always looks crazy. Like she doesn't break character, even when she's
Mhm.
not in there like wrestling. She's got like crazy eyes and all that stuff. Ooh, Carrie Sane looked like she got the worst of that. Looked like her face hit the ground. Slow motion. Ooh, yeah, that looked painful. This is already better than the Damian Priest.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, you got some high flying going on. This Carrie Sane, I think, is bleeding from her mouth.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, when you said she kind of hit her face on the ground,
Yeah, looked like it.
it's just more like again these girls are smaller, so they're a little more agile,
Yep.
so they can do more things, and I think that's just what gives the overall more entertaining value to the matches.
Do you think that because Asuka's probably got the most complex makeup of any of the wrestlers? I think. I mean, she's always got crazy stuff all over her face. Do you think she does that herself, or do you think that they have somebody that actually paints her face up for her?
A lot of them do it all themselves. I mean, Jeff Hardy, if you remember him, like in his later or even now, like he paints his full face. He does it himself.
It's
And
wild.
I think if they do it long enough, they're trying to find their character and their art by painting their face. I think that they want to do it themselves because they can play around with different things, and if you do it long enough, you kind of get it down.
Yeah, I get. I suppose. Yeah.
I mean, Sting painted his face for 40 years. He did it himself.
Okay.
So,
Well, that answers my question.
but I also could be wrong. So, I mean, I'm guessing just as much as everybody else. That's just kind of how I would imagine you'd want to do it yourself.
Boom. Not a great camera angle, but that was a cool move.
I wonder
That looked better in
Um,
slow motion than it did in real time.
I wonder what the production team um, resumes look like on some of these shows. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder
Yeah.
if you have somebody back there calling camera angles, switch to camera A, switch to camera B, what their background is.
What I would what doesn't make any sense to me, and maybe it's because they don't have the camera angle they need. I mean, I would imagine in this day and age, there's cameras everywhere
Yeah,
catching everything. But let's say, like in real time, they botch for use a wrestling term. They botch the camera angle. There's no reason that in the slow mo playback they can't go to a better angle that shows something better. But for example, like that, I guess you'd call it a Superman punch, whatever that Carrie Sane did when she jumped off. In real time, that didn't look good. It looked better in the slow mo, but they used the exact same angle in the slow mo. They should have gone to like a side angle where you could really see it wham into her cheek
right.
or something, And I think it would be even more visually appealing for audiences if they can see different angles and whatnot and be like, wow, that looked cool. Because even like in sports, like a basketball game or a football game or something, you'll see that main angle, and then they show a different angle, and you're like, oh, that hits a lot different when that guy slams into the other body because you saw it
Right.
from a different angle. And they don't seem to do that a lot on these productions.
Put some goddamn production value into this shit. Come on.
Yeah,
Pretend like you know what you're doing.
wonder if Asuka's contacts ever get knocked out of her head. Yeah, the crowd is chanting. They're loving this right now.
Are they? Again,
These,
I'm on low volume, so I can't hear anything.
I don't know what they're saying because they're chanting, but
Right.
chanting and clapping. It sounds like that this is awesome. So WWE Backlash trending number one in the United States,
Is it?
according to according to the screen. It is.
Oh, I didn't even see. I didn't see that. Leon France, fun little fact that I learned while watching the pre-show, is the birthplace of cinema.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. They should take some of those cinema techniques and make some better camera angles.
Right. Uh, these poor guys and their camera angles.
You know what I would love to see? Here's a cool move that I think they should do. So Asuka should grab Bianca by the legs and lift her up. And then Carrie Sane could grab her by the ponytail and lift her up. And then they could do like they're actually pulling her, kind of like they're Asuka's pulling her one way and the other's pulling the other, and then have Jade Cargill try to come in and help out. That would
And then
look
she's.
cool.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I was saying that. Never mind. Yeah. Uh, I almost turned that into a horror movie, but I'm gonna shut up.
Is that called the titty drop? What is that?
I don't think they call it that. I'm not sure they can.
I'm just gonna slam into your face with my boobs. The titty drop.
The titty drop. Yeah, I think Jade's about to wrap it up here.
Real quick question. So, like, what just happened right there is Jade knocks down Carrie Sane, and she's going for the pin, and the ref's like 1, 2, and of course Asuka comes in at the last second and saves. But what happens if Asuka trips or something and doesn't be able to make it there? Does the ref just have to go 3 and then it's over, or like what happens if they miss the timing on a count out?
Right. I've seen that happen where they've definitely botched the ending in the cover. I've also seen it where the ref like is supposed to like stop, so they stop, and it just looks terrible.
Okay. I love when Asuka does her ninja shit here, like the spin kicks and stuff like that. Ooh.
I like that Jade is willing to take these bumps also because when she was the AEW Women's Champion or TBS Champion for a while, and she just dominated every match. She never had to like really sell anything, and I like that she's taking these bumps. I like that she's coming in here and they're not making her look overly like she's just not defeatable.
Yeah. She's not like a female Goldberg or something where
Right.
you just cannot lose.
You
See
can
this?
definitely tell though that Jade is also very limited in her skill set.
Yep.
Like she's super green.
It's so weird to me because, like we talk about Logan Paul, right? Like how crazy good he is
Mm-hmm.
without really having any formal training, essentially. He's just like, hey, I'm showing up and I'm going to do all this awesome shit.
Right.
Now, someone like Jade has been a wrestler for many years. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just a WWE thing, like she's brand new. It's like she's been wrestling for a long time, but how come she isn't better than what she is?
I I don't know what her training was. I wonder if she went to the performance center and did some training, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why some superstars are not more um skilled than they are after so long. But she's got star power. Like if she
Oh,
sucked and she didn't
oh,
have any like
this is the end. This has got to be the end. Oh, ow! Carrie Sane looks like she just broke her back.
how does Jade Cargill not just like roll over and pick her up? You know what I mean?
That stupid
Oh,
fucking
well,
Prime bottle
she's
is
about to
still
do.
in the middle of the goddamn mat.
Okay, well, she did exactly what I thought she was going to do. Do you think is Lo, is Prime a sponsor? Is Logan Paul paying for this? Do you think, or is it because he's part of the WWE? That was part of his deal.
Good question. I don't know.
Oh, she's trying to hide her. Do you see how she's trying to hide her mouth?
Ooh.
Bianca's like calling the match right now.
Oh, I did not. I did not
So
see it.
she put her hand over her mouth because you could see her talking.
Oh shit! That was a cool move. Oh wow! I thought for sure it was over right there. That was a cool
Oh,
move. That
they
was a real
botched
cool
a little
move.
bit though.
You can't let the champs go out like punks.
Also, Jay's gonna get that cover.
100%.
I think. I'm gonna look like a real fucking asshole, by the way, if they don't win. I'm all over this, thinking that Jade Cargill is gonna win this match. So, oh, they just took Jade Cargill out though.
This has been an entertaining match. I will say that these girls are putting in work.
Yeah, they've definitely done enough. Not on the level of that triple
Oh,
threat match, but
oh,
oh no, they've done enough.
oh! How is that not a disqualification? How is a wrestler allowed to come in and like save their partner but not be disqualified when they're not tagged in? How is that
Yeah,
allowed?
yeah, they do it all the time though. That's been a thing for a long time.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! This poor small woman is going to die. Oh my god! Oh shit! She's dead. Carrie Sane's dead.
Oh, she caught her.
Oh,
Oh, she's gonna do her finisher.
wow.
It's got to be over. It's got to be over, right? How's she not covering her? That's her finisher. That's Jade Cargill's finisher. Don't take that away from Jade. Give her that. Don't take the cover away from her. Okay, well, I got the win right, but they should have given that cover to Jade. She did her
Yeah,
finishing move.
that was the coolest move. I
They
was like,
stole that from
wow.
her,
Yeah, they did.
but I knew they were gonna put those titles on them.
Yep.
This is gonna be good for Jade Cargill.
This has been the most predictable pay per view we've seen yet.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did pretty good during WrestleMania. We called a lot of spots,
We did. We did.
but this is
Yeah.
like every match has been called for this pay per view.
Yeah. We expected that Kabukis were going to lose this, and they did.
Now, I don't know what other tag teams in the women's division there are, so I don't know what kind of challenges these girls are going to get. But, now Jade can call herself a champion in WWE. She's going to build her name on that a little bit. This move is really cool. That her finishing move is cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So the Kabuki Warriors, they were part of Damage Control, right?
I think
So
so, yeah.
so everybody in Damage Control, aside from Bailey's not in Damage Control anymore, but they've all lost. They're no longer champions of anything.
Yeah.
All right, how are we rating this one? I'll let you
This
go first.
WWE is starting to suffer a little bit from too many uninteresting factions, to be honest with you, anyway.
Yeah,
So, I'm gonna give this a C plus. I thought
C
it was a good
plus.
match. Um, Even if it was a predictable match, I thought it entertained enough to kind of keep you in. It definitely wasn't on the level of that triple threat match. Um, I'm gonna go with C plus.
Okay. I feel like I kind of agree with you. We've agreed on every single grade thus far. I think it was above average, but it wasn't as good as Tiffy Time. So, yeah, C plus. I don't think it was bad. I think it was better than average, but it wasn't something that was memorable enough. I feel like when you get into the B level, there's memorable stuff. Like you're going to remember things from that particular match, even if you don't remember the entire match all the way through. You'll remember stuff from it. I don't necessarily think I'm going to remember much of anything from this one. I think if they would have given Jade the finish and let her be the one that covered, I think that
Yeah,
would have been memorable, but they didn't. So it's
yeah,
kind of like, all right, well, but again, too predictable. But I appreciate the work that the ladies put in there. They were doing a lot of jumping and high flying and all that. So good on them.
yeah. I think that was the biggest botch of the whole match was not giving Jade Cargill that pin.
Yeah, I agree. Seems weird. Why would they not? Like Bianca Belair doesn't need that.
No, she doesn't. So
All right. So the final match: Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, or I'm just gonna call him Mom Cut. Cody Rhodes versus Mom Cut. Cody obviously wins this.
yeah,
There's no scenario in which he doesn't. When do you think Cody Rhodes will lose the title? Is he going to have like a multi-year run just like Roman Reigns, or are they going to take that title off of him in less than a year?
he might carry it into WrestleMania. I'm trying to think of who is in the on the roster who can take it off of him. Like who do they have that can take it off of him? That
Is
uh,
plausible.
yeah. Um, I think Roman carried it for so long that it would be dumb to put it back on Roman. Um, so I just can't, and unless there's another superstar that they're trying to build up, I can't think of anybody that they would put it on. Seth Rollins is an option if if and when he comes back healthy. But I think Seth Rollins and CM Punk are going to have the match that they should have had at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm trying to think of who can take it off of Cody.
By the way, I'm cutting in here because I'm looking at the promo here for King and Queen of the Ring. It says the
Mm-hmm.
first rounds are on Raw,
Okay,
so they will not be doing the entire tournament in Saudi Arabia. Man, so I like Ricochet. I don't see Ricochet enough. He's a high flyer. I want how many rounds do they usually do in the King and Queen of the Ring?
and so usually, like when they originally started King of the Ring, it was 3 rounds and then the final match. But it was also on, it was brackets on each side, right? So,
Yeah.
uh,
Are when they do that, are like how long are the matches? I can't imagine these matches are like 20, 30 minutes each round.
okay, so I lied. It was not brackets on each side. It was brackets on one side, three rounds, I think, and
Okay.
then the final King of the Ring match. But it was like maybe 8 matches, 8 matches. With
Because I'm
that's with
just
the
do they have like people who have like buys or anything? Like, does the top seed get a buy? Because I'm just thinking like if you were
no.
gonna do one, two, three, 4 matches in one night potentially to win it, that would be a lot of matches for someone, a lot of chance to get hurt or injured.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, that's I think how they originally did it. Now, obviously, they break it up. So, but then if you have King and Queen of the Ring, and that's built around a pay per view, is just the final match at Saudi Arabia, and then they build other matches around it. I
I
don't
don't
know how
know.
they do that pay
I've
per view
never
now.
seen one. I don't know.
So,
Well, let me see what date that is. I'll put that on my calendar. I will check that out. Let me see. Okay, that is May 25th, which is what date? Do I have anything going on that day? It says movie party at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. What is a movie party?
that is the Nine Black Roses movie party.
Oh, shit. Are we even still having that? I don't know. No one has said anything, so I guess maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. But
Tomorrow, yeah.
yeah, so I'll also put King of the Ring on here just so I know. No idea what time it would start, but King of the Ring. Congratulations, movie party. We're all watching King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah. Uh, there'd be exactly 2 people that might like that movie party.
Okay. All right. Well, it's in my calendar. We'll see what happens. We may or may not end up doing something for that. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. I do want to do the Money in the Bank one though. I've never watched one of those. Is that
Those
like
are,
a big
when
free
is
for
that?
all? That says July 6th.
I might get on that one, yeah, because
Let me see.
the Money in the Bank matches are fucking awesome.
Okay, I'll
Those are
put that
great matches.
there.
So,
I'll put that in my calendar so I know. Money in the Bank. Okay. I don't know if I necessarily care to do the Scotland one. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's worth watching Clash at the Castle, Scotland?
yeah, I can't do every mini pay per view because I will kill myself. So, like, I'll do the 4 main pay per views and like maybe scatter a few of the small ones in between
Yeah.
that look interesting. But I'll probably also base a lot of it on the card.
Okay, that's
Like,
fair. That's
if it's a
fair.
card that just looks like absolute dog shit, I don't want to watch that card.
Okay.
If we got a
Well,
bunch of like D plus matches on a card, do you want to spend 3 hours watching that card?
I will watch King and Queen of the Ring if Tiffany Stratton is there. She'll get me interested to watch King and Queen. If she loses in the first round on Raw or SmackDown or whatever she's going to be on, I don't know if I have a whole lot of interest to watch. Tiffany brings me to the television set WWE, so put her on TV more. Clash at the Castle Scotland. I have no real interest in that. I guess if, like you said, the card is really cool or something, maybe there's some cool big bloodline thing that's supposed to happen. Maybe we'll see. Money in the Bank, I definitely want to check out because I've never watched one of those before. And then the next big thing after that is SummerSlam in August. So there's only a few. Let me put that
Yeah,
August.
and if they don't do it tonight, I think the Wyatt Six is going to debut at SummerSlam, and that is something that I will be looking for.
That is a long ways off.
I know because they've been teasing these little vignettes on Raw and SmackDown for the Wyatt Six, and people have a pretty good idea of who's going to be in it. And I don't know if you've been watching them or not, but like last night's was like 2 minutes. It kicks ass. They're
I
really
haven't
cool.
I haven't watched anything with that.
They're fucking awesome. You can find them on YouTube, and they're doing Bray Wyatt. I think proud right now with the cool shit that they're kicking out
Hmm.
for him.
I'll have to look into it.
So, uh,
Yeah, I have not watched anything involving that stuff, so I have
and
no idea.
and the last one they showed last night had Eric Rowan in it, so we know he's back, and he was a part of the original Wyatt family.
Okay,
So
didn't a bunch of like was didn't somebody else die that was part of it? That wasn't Bray Wyatt.
I
I
don't
thought
think
there was
so.
I thought there was another member that died or something.
It was
They got
Bray
a heart
Wyatt,
attack or something.
Eric Rowan. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He did die. I can't think of his name, and he was awesome too. He died like a couple years ago, I think now.
Yeah.
It was around COVID time. Um, but Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman just came back. He just showed back up, and he was also part of the original Wyatt family. So,
Hmm.
um, but Alexa Bliss, if you remember her,
Yep.
um, she was doing stuff with Bray Wyatt, with the Sister Abigail stuff, and Nikki Cross. Um, she's
Crazy
got
eyes.
she's got a what's that?
She got crazy eyes.
Yeah, she's kind of got a cool thing going. So, um, the Wyatt thing, I'm super interested in. Kind of hope they do a cool thing at the end of this and cap Backlash with a Wyatt kind of video or something that somebody shows up is what I'm really hoping for. So
This
otherwise,
this crowd is popping for AJ Styles. I mean, they were freaking out. I hate Cody Rhodes. You should have lost to Roman. Fuck your story, Cody. Do not care about Cody Rhodes at all. This song is so stupid too. I think you might have went on mute, Josh. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
oh fuck, I was on mute. I've been talking for like a minute.
Okay.
Um, what an idiot. I think AJ Styles is almost done. I think he's almost at retirement, to be honest with you. And the song for Cody Rhodes, it tells his story, which
Fuck
you
his
fucking
story.
hate. So I can understand why you say fuck the song
Fuck his
and his
story.
story. But
Stupid. I want The Rock to just smash his head in again. Love that. I love The Rock beating his ass out in the rain. It was fantastic.
what happens to Cody though? Do you think once he does lose the title? And his whole thing has been finish the story, finish the story. He gets a title run, and then once he loses it, does he go back to being, Stardust or whatever the fuck his name was? Like,
This is an interesting thing because I feel like Cody Rhodes kind of puts WWE in a corner because they obviously want him to kind of be the next babyface, the next one that everybody loves, like the next John Cena or whatever.
right,
I am not obviously in touch with a lot of the WWE fan base, so I don't get the sense that he is anywhere on that level. Like that he's got this huge massive thing. Like I was watching a YouTuber say that the reason why like WWE fans, and for whatever reason my internet just locked up here, so I'm gonna back out and hit play again because something happened to my Peacock. Oh wow, my nothing's even working on my television right now. Hold on. Um,
oh, it's the main event. Don't make me do this shit by myself.
hold on. Let me hit power. Let me turn my television off and turn it back on and try to get back into Peacock. Everything just froze on my end.
Like, is Cody gonna be mid card once he loses that title? Like, John Cena won that championship 16 times. There's no way.
Well, yeah, John Cena was universally popular. Um, I don't get that sense from Cody Rhodes. Do you? I mean, it feels like what I was trying to get to is there was a YouTuber who was saying that the reason why he knows that Cody Rhodes is not as big as WWE thinks or wants him to be is the fact that as soon as Roman Reigns lost, like the next day, Roman turned into a babyface, and everybody wanted him back
Right.
because Roman Reigns had, for whatever criticisms people gave him, like he didn't actually wrestle that often, whatever. He had that kind of it factor, that aura to him that you knew it was a big deal and that he's a big deal. And the fact that he could have
Oh
so many
shit. I
merch
lost Matt.
sales and stuff when he doesn't
I don't know
wrestle
if I lost him or
regularly,
he lost me.
um,
He's
they
talking
don't
right
think Cody
now.
Rhodes
I can
really
see
has
his.
that. And at a certain point,
Oh
people are
no.
going to
Not on the
kind of turn
fucking.
on him and it's like, we want something new.
It's
Like
the
we
main
don't,
event.
this isn't as this,
I think
he
it might be
finished his
me.
story
Shit.
great. That's what we cared about, but we don't care to have him lead WWE all the way into the future for the
Matt, can
next
you hear
10
me?
years, you know?
Oh god.
You're on mute again.
Can you hear me, Matt?
I can now.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, were you talking that whole time?
Yes, I was. I
No.
was talking about how Cody Rhodes sucks and fuck his story.
Okay, cool. Is here's the thing with Roman. Roman did not wrestle very often, so he was kind of a an attraction, right? Like
Yeah.
every few months, you're gonna see Roman wrestle at a pay per view, and he's an attraction. Cody wrestles every goddamn week or something like that, or every other week. He defends the title, right?
Yep.
So he's not really that attraction that Roman Reigns was, and I think that's a big deal. I think. Like the Undertaker did not wrestle very often. When he wrestled, it was an attraction.
It's an
Uh,
event. Yeah. It's like, holy
It's an
shit.
event. Yeah. You know. So
God, that stupid neck tattoo. I just, everything about Cody Rhodes, other than the fact that he seems like a genuinely good human being, his whole wrestling persona, I just hate it. Come on, mom cut. Take him out. Wouldn't that be something? He loses his first match after winning the title.
he just does not have that personality. And here's the thing. I think Cody Rhodes would shine personality wise if he was a heel. And I think that's the advantage that you have as being a heel champion is you can go out there and be like, fuck this crowd. You guys are all fat assholes and just be mean, right? Cody goes out every week and is like, I love you guys. What should we talk about? You know what I mean? He's
Oh
a
yeah.
nice guy. so he's kind of vanilla. He doesn't get a lot to play with.
When we saw him when he came to Lincoln, I thought he did this whole thing like we joked. The biggest pop that he got was giving away a turnbuckle after the match was over. Like, hey, who wants a turnbuckle? Yeah, I mean, it just yes, he appreciates the business. He loves the business. The fans respect that because he's so open about it. But god damn, he's just so milk toast.
Right, right. I mean,
I,
he got like that. He got that cheap pop when he was like Lincoln, Nebraska, and he got that cheap pop when he was like, we drove through a snowstorm just to because you guys were worth it
yeah.
and all that bullshit cheap stuff. But yeah, beyond that, he got his match was boring.
Oh yeah. I think he's a boring wrestler. I don't think
So
I'm the only one. I think there's a lot of people that think he's just kind of boring. But like I said, WWE has written themselves into a corner with him because I agree with you. As soon as he loses, unless they have some great storyline around it, or he gets cheated out, I could see them. He gets cheated out of losing the championship or something. Um, Once he's done, I think people are on to the next best thing.
yeah, I mean, what made Cody's story interesting was he had an interesting heel to fight against.
Yeah,
That is now gone.
a
Like
good guy is
AJ
only as
Styles is
good as
not
his bad guy.
what's that?
A good guy is only as good as his bad guy.
Right. AJ Styles is not Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? He's not that he does not have that heel factor that Roman Reigns had. And if Roman Reigns comes back as babyface, who is Cody Rhodes?
It's
You
The
know,
Rock. That's the thing. Like he's going to have to get his revenge on The Rock for pinning him, and and that's what I'm actually most interested in going forward is how do they play both Roman and Cody have to fight The Rock, but I can't see The Rock losing to both of them. So how do they do it? How do they
yeah,
keep The Rock? Because as soon as The Rock comes back, um, he's the final boss. He's gonna have to go through a string of victories before these guys take him down. I mean, the whole point of a final boss is it takes a lot to be able to finally beat him, and then when you beat the final boss, it makes it so much sweeter. So it can't be The Rock comes back for SummerSlam and he immediately loses.
no,
Uh,
that bloodline thing will go to WrestleMania,
right.
100%.
But you have to have The Rock win some additional matches before WrestleMania, don't you?
I don't think The Rock will wrestle before WrestleMania. I don't, and I I
I think
don't
he
think
will.
physically he can.
I think he will. I think he'll do one or two matches before WrestleMania because you have to set up that he can't be beat. You know, he's the final boss. He can't be beat. And
Cody
then
Rhodes just
WrestleMania.
yeah, Cody Rhodes just did this cartwheel and he did this
Yeah.
thing where he like spread his hands apart. That's his old like Stardust character, like making fun of himself. It's kind
Um,
of funny. Um, Cody Rhodes,
Sucks.
yeah, well, no. Um, I think that once he loses his title, at best he's gonna be mid card if he stays a babyface. I think that he can stay on top. Now, Cody Rhodes said he'll never be a heel ever again. I think there's a possibility that he breaks that promise in WWE. And the only
Hmm.
thing that's going to keep him interesting once he loses that title is if he turns heel and does a heel run. Like him and Roman Reigns switching spots, I think would be great.
How do you think, like, I mean, Roman Reigns, when he eventually comes back, he's going to want that title back, right? So you would think that Roman Reigns is going to want to get his revenge on Cody Rhodes. But if Roman can't ever win it from him, then how do we see this playing out? I mean, Cody Rhodes can't go for 4 years uh, without losing to Roman Reigns or The Rock.
Yeah, I don't.
That's
Yeah,
that's why I said I think they've written themselves into kind of a corner with Cody Rhodes. It's like you can't take the belt off of him quickly because then he looks just kind of pathetic and weak,
right,
which ruins him. But you can't have him go on in perpetuity with it like Roman Reigns because what Roman Reigns, I mean, he's close to 40 already. He can't go 4 years before he can get his revenge. Plus, he deals with his own health problems with leukemia and stuff like that.
right,
And you gotta finish that. I mean, Roman Reigns is going to come back, and he's going to want to retain that. And you have the whole Rock thing going on out there, where the Rock can't just lose to Cody Rhodes. As soon as the Rock loses, all of his credibility as the final boss is done. So it's kind of like when that happens, it has to be fucking impactful. It's got to be after a build, a very strong build where because even when The Rock loses, he's still going to be on the board of directors.
right,
So he's still going to be like, I am the final boss. I suppose maybe you could get away with it by the Rock losing via disqualification or something, so he can always say I didn't really lose to you or something. But I don't know how they write themselves out of this Cody Rhodes corner. I honestly.
right. Well, I'm gonna give Cody Rhodes in WWE a year to figure out how to write him out of the title, and I think it's gonna be just them trying to find the perfect opponent and an interesting person to carry him for a full year to the next WrestleMania.
Yeah, I
They
think
just
you're.
gotta find that person.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's like who could it be? Like I don't think the top of the card is super strong. I mean, if they're not going to go CM Punk and they're going to give CM Punk that world championship title with Drew McIntyre or whatever, who competes if it's not The Rock or because that's the thing. The day after WrestleMania, we forget to mention this on Raw. The Rock came out and he said he basically asked Cody Rhodes to let him hold the title, and The Rock says this feels right. This feels right. So you know The Rock is going after that title. The Rock wants Cody's title. So are they actually going to pay that off? And if so, is it The Rock that beats Cody, takes that title from him? And, then he becomes a two-time champion because eventually he comes back and takes on The Rock and gets it back. I don't think you drop something like The Rock saying, I want you essentially this feels good on me and then not follow through with it. It seems.
Yeah.
And
I
what The Rock handed him? The Rock handed him something too, and he's like, "Don't break my heart again." And it's like, what the fuck was that all about? They have a story that they have in mind. They just haven't really. They can't do
yeah,
anything with it while The Rock's making movies.
right. And Roman being gone, and you know, yeah, they have very few people at the top of this card that to work with, unless they start building somebody up.
Who's the up and coming
Yeah,
male performer? Who's the Tiffany Stratton of the men?
I have no idea. That's where you're like you kind of lost because
Well,
like Finn,
John Cena said he wanted one more title run. What if John Cena took it to
you
break
know,
the record?
I think Finn Balor, if he gets out of the Judgment Day, if he gets away from that, I think he's a competitor. Seth Rollins will come back eventually. Drew McIntyre will come back eventually. They have CM Punk in there. I honestly think Solo can get there. They got him talking a little bit more on the mic. They're kind of making him a little bit of a leader of a faction right now.
But Solo, my
And
problem with Solo is he never wins cleanly. He never wins based on like, hey, I'm just a good wrestler.
neither
Somebody,
did Roman.
some of the bloodline always helps him out.
Neither did Roman.
But Roman did win some matches outright before the bloodline really started interfering every single match. I don't feel that way with Solo. Solo lost like 38 matches in a row. That was one of the things where he was like, "Oh yeah, I don't like losers." Well, Solo lost every match that he was in. He was a jobber for months before WrestleMania. Is
Um,
that a botch? That looked
but
like
again, Paul Heyman attached to Solo. Paul Heyman can turn anybody into a star. The other thing, here's the other, like a wild card. That might have been a botch. You're right.
that looked like a botch.
A wild card also could be, and hear me out, don't shut me down yet. Brock Lesnar could come back.
Yeah, I mean,
They might need him.
uh, it would be weird if what is alleged is true to bring him back while you're working so hard to try to make everyone forget about Vince McMahon. That would be a tightrope. You'd have to have actual evidence that all those allegations with Brock are not true.
I don't know how Brock is attached to the Vince McMahon situation. So,
He was named. Well, it wasn't his actual name. Basically, in the lawsuit that was filed, it was he was. It's described as a UFC fighter who was champion of WWE. Um, Vince McMahon was like basically pimping Janelle Grant out to him and was sending Brock Lesnar like sex videos of her and stuff like that. And they were supposed to, because part of the whole lawsuit is like, they're claiming sex trafficking, that Vince McMahon was kind of trying whoring her out to different wrestlers. Brock Lesnar was one of those wrestlers allegedly. But the thing is, something happened when like they were supposed to meet up, but something happened. Like the plane got delayed because of a snowstorm or something, and he never actually met up with her. But apparently, there are lots of text messages between Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar, basically saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna like let you do whatever you want to this woman." And of course, Brock Lesnar is married,
right.
right? And so those are the claims. Whether it's
Gotcha.
true or not, don't know, but they would have to have irrefutable evidence that that is not true
Right.
before he
Brock,
came out.
Brock Lesnar is also a Vince McMahon guy. It
Yeah.
does not, he's a Paul Heyman guy, really. Doesn't mean he can't come in and succeed under a Triple H regime, but he also may think like if he gets brought in, Hunter may not push him as hard as McMahon did.
Also, they removed Brock Lesnar from everything. Like they took him out of the
Oh, they
new
did.
video game. Yeah, they removed him from the video game. They removed him from all of like the clips and stuff like that. Like that was the joke with Paul Heyman's big sort of video for the Hall of Fame. They took Brock Lesnar out of it. So like you didn't even see him in that. So it looks like they're trying to erase Brock Lesnar, just kind of like they did Chris Benoit, kind of erasing them as best they could. But I don't know. Brock Lesnar would bring credibility in being able to beat him.
Right.
100% agree, but woof.
And they had him and Brock Lesnar had a great rivalry too. They had good matches.
Yeah, they'd have to
So,
they'd have to thread that needle.
yeah.
They'd have to be real sure that Brock had nothing to do with any of that stuff. This match,
Yeah.
by the way, again, it's just boring to me, like all of Cody Rhodes' matches. It's a lot of we do a move, and we're going to sell that it was so painful for 10, 15 seconds before we set up the next move. And then we're going to look at the crowd like we're really in pain. I don't like that. I like fast, quick matches that
Right.
are exciting. I don't like a lot of standing around. That's part of the reason why I didn't like a lot of Roman Reigns ones as well, because it's like if you're the top, if you're expected to be the best of the best, you better show me the best of the best.
Right. They're just not. AJ is a high flyer, but he's like, for whatever reason, seems very grounded in this match.
So far,
I don't know what time this match started, but Um,
And that was a cool move. That was a good move right there. Pin his ass, AJ. Come on, mom cut.
Mom cut.
I mean, this crowd is going nuts for every single one of these matches. They are totally into it.
I mean, I would. I think AJ down the line could take the title off of Cody. You know what I mean? Like he's also a top tier star, but I think he made a comment not that long ago about being almost to the point of being done.
Yeah. I think, so like I said, John Cena has been saying, I want one more run because he wants to break that record. I could see a scenario in which they have John Cena take it off Cody because at that point I don't think Cody will like fans will understand why it was done. So John Cena can get that record, break Ric Flair's record or whatever.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
but
would
it,
hate that to be honest with you.
yeah, but it wouldn't hurt Cody in that sense, so much. It would be like it's kind of like one of those, hey, he's a legend. We're gonna let him go out on top, sort of thing. But I don't know.
Also, Hunter is a huge Ric Flair, like not only fan but like friend, and I'm not sure Hunter would book John Cena to break his record.
Well, I mean, it could be The Rock takes it off of him in some underhanded way, and that's what still gains sympathy towards Cody, and Cody's still quote unquote the people's champ. Because remember,
Right.
in that promo the day after WrestleMania, Cody took the people's champ belt from The Rock. Remember, he was holding
Right.
that, and The Rock was holding the Universal. And Cody called himself the People's Champ. So that could be how it goes. It could be The Rock beats him and takes it, and then you have like even more heel Rock. But again, if The Rock takes the title, you would think he'd have to wrestle, like he'd have to have plans to defend it. And then eventually Cody gets it back. I don't know how they write it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know how they write themselves out of it.
I feel like when we left WrestleMania, you and I kind of, even the Royal Rumble, we pitched a bunch of like, oh, this kind of cool thing could happen and this could happen and here's some cool shit. I'm leaving this pay per view going, where the hell does this go? Like, where do we go from here?
Yeah. This seems like it's going to be Cody Rhodes just going through the biggest names that are currently on WWE. I have no doubt he'll probably wrestle Randy Orton and he'll probably wrestle, whoever. He'll beat all of them. You got to build him up as a champion who's beat on all these other champions.
Now, here's the other you want to talk about like, left turns, and kind of going, twist and everything. Here's the other thing that could happen. The Wyatt Six could debut right after this match and put Cody in a clash with those guys. Those guys are going to go after champions. And, Bray Wyatt, when he did the Wyatt family stuff, when he did the Fiend stuff, he was always in the title hunt. And Bo never got any of those things. And if Bo can stay interesting and the Uncle Howdy thing can stay interesting and the Wyatt Six thing can really work, they can put those guys in the title hunt against Cody.
It also, I think, would work from a cool sort of visual perspective where you got this sort of like evil, horror type element against Cody's like, oh, I'm red, white, and blue, and I'm
Right.
I'm the good guy sort of thing. And he's got like the American Nightmare sort of moniker, so maybe you could fit that in somewhere. I would be interested in that.
So, we'll see. So Bo never got. I think he was the NXT champion, maybe. But as far as like coming up into the big shows, I don't think he ever got that opportunity. And I think even if it is, even if you want to call it as just paying tribute to Bray Wyatt, I think they could. I think they may do that for him.
Okay.
So, but we'll see. All the like dark horror shit. I'm so into that when they do that. Those angles in wrestling, they have my attention. They fully have my attention when they do that stuff. So
This match is boring to me. It just
yeah, it's pretty vanilla. Again,
is.
I
AJ
don't think it's
finally
on
going to get
the.
on the top rope. He's finally doing some rope shit here. Let's see. Yep, here we go. There you
Um,
go. There's classic high flyer AJ.
at best, this match gets another 5-10 minutes, and Cody will come back. He'll do his little finisher, and then it'll be over. And again, he'll do his finisher. Everything will be like, "Yay, I'm Cody Rhodes, I won," and then the lights are going to go out, and either a vignette's going to show up, and they're going to show another Wyatt Six video, or Uncle Howdy's going to appear somewhere in that arena.
Is that a huge prime bottle in the corner?
That blue bottle, yeah.
Oh God.
Didn't you see in the opening match? They knocked over like a box of like prime bottles. It was all
I,
over the floor.
I didn't even notice that. I just
Yeah,
see that prime bottle right there. Okay, I see it. It's over there. Kicks out on one.
that's kind of a dick move.
AJ can't believe it.
He's kicking out on one on his fucking finishing moves. That's kind of a dick move.
You got to show how strong he is, Josh.
Yeah, well, I like Cody. Don't get me wrong. I do like Cody, but after WrestleMania, I'm not loving what they're doing with this stuff.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Here comes the Cody comeback. There's the Cody cutter.
I hate the cutter. I hate his finishing move. This is so stupid.
They call his finishing move the spinning Rooney, the spinneroonie, and then the cover will come. It'll be over. I don't know what his finishing move is called.
I did see a thing where they asked him what he would tell his dad after he won the championship or whatever. Like if he could talk to his dad, what would he say? And one of the things was, "I'm sorry for the tattoo."
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
funny.
he knows how stupid it looks.
Look, we all have regrets, right? That's his. He's got to wear that one for the rest of his life. So
He could have put that anywhere other than his neck.
yeah, I don't know why he could have put it on the other side of his chest, where right across from the name that he has on his chest.
Oh God, yep. All of Cody Rhodes' moves, I just can't stand. I hate the cutter. I hate the crossroads. I hate all of that. He's just,
Oh, Crossroads. That's what it's called. Yeah.
I just do not like his skill set or his whatever his
I
move set. I don't like him. I don't like his whole shtick.
AJ just did my favorite AJ move. He does that Pele. I think that's kind of a cool move.
My favorite wrestling move is something super super simple, and everyone will be like, "Oh, sweet chin music from Shawn Michaels." That's my favorite finisher. But my actual favorite wrestling move is the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase's fist drop. I love it. It's so simple.
Really?
I never see
Interesting.
anybody do it ever, and it's so cool. Just like pull your fist back and then just drop right on their face.
It's kind of like John Cena's five knuckle shuffle, though, a little bit.
A little
Like
bit,
he totally got that from him, but you know, just didn't make it look as cool, I guess.
yeah. I love Ted DiBiase, $1 Million Man. I thought he was great.
From Omaha.
He is. He is from Omaha. He had the greatest laugh, the greatest like evil laugh,
Yeah, he does have a good
such a
laugh. Yeah.
cackle. These guys are putting in work. See, this is why people like Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes, he I will give him props. He puts in work. He makes the matches go a long time. He gives the fans a lot of what they want to see. He's just not for me.
Right. He had better. Okay, he had better matches. I think I feel like on the indie scene, he had better matches in AEW. I think, but I'm probably gonna catch a lot of shit on that one too.
I
If
never
anybody
watched
listens to this shit,
AEW stuff.
so the product used to be better. I will. It used to be way better. Man, AJ has broken out of that crossroads like 3 times now.
He's pulling out all the stops. My God. The cutter from the top rope.
AJ just waited for it too.
Of course. It's almost like it's scripted.
It's almost like yeah, almost like I've got to stand right here and wait.
And it's
God, I hope I.
over.
Is it over?
251. There's still 10 minutes left. If it's supposed to go to 3, maybe you'll get your Wyatt stuff.
Is it over?
Yeah, it's over.
Okay. Come on, Wyatt. Come on, make me end this pay per view on a high note because this wasn't it.
Okay, how would you rate this one?
See, I gave that last match a C plus. I gave that women's match a D minus.
Now you gave the Kabuki Warriors Bianca Jade a C plus. You gave the Uso Damian Priest a D minus.
Well, this was better than that. I don't think I don't feel like it was D level. And I think I originally gave the Damian Priest one a C minus. I think that's where I'm gonna plant. I don't think it was D level. I'm gonna just stick with a C minus on this match.
I'm right there with you. C minus. Um, eh, I feel like it was below average only because it just seems like the same boring shit I see with Cody Rhodes every single time.
Yeah, you're
I don't
right.
think it did anything here that I thought was so incredible that I was like, wow. It was just, eh.
I
As a main
thought that
event,
AJ would carry this match a little more and
yeah,
make
he
it a
didn't
little
do a
more
lot.
interesting.
He did not do a lot. Yeah. So we had the same grades for every single match. First one was Bloodline, A minus. Tiffy Time, B minus. Uso Priest, D minus. Kabuki Warriors, Bianca Jade, C plus, and Cody Rhodes versus Mom Cut, C minus. So what are you grading Backlash overall?
Oh shit! I wish I was paying attention. Um, we had everything from A minuses to D minuses.
Yep.
So if you live in the middle, I'm gonna give the pay per view. I'm gonna give this pay per view a C. That's where I'm gonna live.
I'm right there with you. I was going to say C as well. We literally rated everything exactly the same.
Now,
Average.
if the
Average.
Wyatt Six come out at the end of this, I'm gonna put a plus in the middle of it
Okay.
at the end of it. Only if it happens. But it's
Okay.
this shit's almost over, so
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. They just went to they cut the feed from the thing, and now they're going to like Welcome to Leon.
okay.
So I
So
think
they're doing highlights now. Okay.
looks like it.
Damn. Bummer.
Yeah, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's our kind of review of Backlash, one of the mini pay-per-views. Once again, thank you, Josh. I think we started out high with that opening match, which was awesome, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. Aside from Tiffy Time, it all just kind of went down. So
Yeah.
not big. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Any new subscribers? I mean, hit that subscribe button. We will possibly, depending on the card, check out that weird Scotland thing. If not, we'll probably be back for Money in the Bank, and if something catches our eye before that pops up, maybe we'll do it. But we'll definitely do Money in the Bank most likely.
Oh yeah,
But
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
with that, you have any final thoughts, Josh? Anything? Anything?
No, I mean, I'm gonna, tell everybody you're welcome for saving you 3 fucking hours for having to sit through this shit. Um,
Well, what I imagine is the two people who have subscribed based on these videos that we've been doing. They just play our commentary as they watch it. Like,
oh
we
yeah,
are the commentators, and so we probably didn't save them any time at all. We
yeah,
probably,
that's probably true.
ruined it for them. But,
It's possible.
cool. Thank you, everybody. Check out Outpost Unknown. We got a lot of cool shit coming up on the channel, so, see you later.